Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers as well as coarse language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey guys, it's Tay from the R Anime Podcast here, and I have some really sad news for you all today. Just a couple of weeks ago, we reached out to 17, and he said he was going to go on a quest to try and level up so that he could be 18 riders. But alas, we just received word that he couldn't make it, and he will stay 17. And to reflect on that actions, he can't make it to tonight's recording. But I got to correspond with him through letter, and his letter, he said, "Tay, I'm really sorry I can't make this. And can you tell the people my last words?" And so here are his last words. "Did you know that you can subscribe to HIDIVE for a month for 50% off using the promo code TAP5483348? That's 50% off your entire subscription for 1 month of unlimited HD streaming anime and other shows too. All you have to do is use that promo code. It's also listed in the description below, and you only have to pay $2.49 for a whole month. HIDIVE has a ton of anime available to you through their Xbox app, online, on the mobile app, anywhere you could possibly want it. And they have a lot of great anime like..." And here he kind of trailed off and he said, "By the way, I think I have to be called King Normie now," which I believe is a reference to an anime that is currently going on HIDIVE. But before we get into that, now that, we've recited his last words, I'd like to introduce our other solemn guests today. We have, of course, our fellow host, Sinris. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty well, but I am missing our friend, 17. I'm really disappointed. Not that he isn't here, but that he failed to finish Ao-chan.
He failed! He is King Normie. Not only did he fail to become 18 riders, but he is now also King Normie.
He lost the other 17 riders too.
How unfortunate. And we also have the man who is in a constant state of shaking his head, SMH Minds. How you doing, my man?
I'm pretty good. I'm also sad that 17's not here, but he's probably in another world right now, living the harem life.
That's
with
true.
His 17 writers. So.
17 writers. He couldn't become the 18th writer, so he's just staying with the 17 writers.
Yeah, it's like what age most Isekai protagonists are anyway, so...
that's true.
It's fitting.
That is rather fitting. And yeah, so again, this letter was brought to you, and this podcast episode is brought to you by our friends over at HIDIVE. And of course, where we last left off in our previous episode, we all made a blood oath to watch Ao-chan Can't Study. And whoever didn't finish had to be called King Normie for the rest of their lives, which was actually a plot point in another show that we'll get to later. But so I will admit first off that I do not have to be called King Normie. Sinris, Minds, how about you guys?
I'm not King Normie.
Not King Normie.
Oh wow,
although I wish I was. He's actually great.
I'm gonna be Apple Orgy.
Wait, I ship it between Sinris and Minds now? Ooh.
This could be the start of something.
Yo, HIDIVE, bringing podcast members together since 2019. But yeah, I mean, like you guys said, I went into this and I was like, yo, like, how good could this be based on the synopsis, right? But like, actually, it was like kind of heartwarming. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, that was not at all what I expected on many levels. First off, not a very lewd show.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I thought like
almost
the most,
like no fan service at all.
The most lewd thing was her like falling into the bathtub in the opening.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it.
And like the few times her like the one time her like top fell off when they were at the like swimming, but they didn't even like have to censor. They just showed her back.
Yeah, it was just a back shot. Yeah, and there were like 2 or 3 panty shots maybe. In the whole show. That was pretty much it.
I mean, they did have that one episode where they talked about silk panties.
That's true.
So yeah, I guess
there's a lot of lewd conversation, but very little like fan service.
Yeah,
it was surprisingly wholesome.
Yeah, it was. It really was. Is the thing.
It was surprisingly wholesome, and like while like it did handle lewd topics, it like handled them in a way that's like more realistic than a lot of anime have handled. Like, you know, both people wanting to go a little farther than just hand holding. Cough cough Kyoani.
I really expected this to be like an ecchi trash show, and it ended up being like a surprisingly mature, like, examination of like like teenagers figuring out like their relationship with like being comfortable with sexuality.
Yeah, and like them like trying to like be more comfortable, like, because if you've seen other anime, like, like especially like ecchi anime, they always have like the one episode where they go like to a bra and underwear shop and they like try on things and like it's supposed to be all fan servicey. But when she's like buys the panties, right, she's like, oh, I'm so nervous, like blah blah blah, and like she has like that awkward thing with her father where she's like trying to hide it from them, and then she like gets a cold because like her stomach was cold.
Literally.
I was like, you know, that seems a lot more like, that seems a lot more realistic. And also like Kijima, for being the king of normies, actually ends up being like really wholesome and really sweet and really shy.
He's such a good dude.
I was gonna say that we need more romance male leads like Kijima. Like, he's like definitely. I really feel bad for him because he just wanted Ao to tell him that she liked him back. But she was all like, oh my gosh, Kijima's gonna have his way with me at any second he gets. Which I thought was pretty funny, given that Ao was just a disaster.
Well, I really like that, though. It's not like the horrible trope you see in some other shows where it's like, she just like immediately pegs the male main as like being a pervert for no real reason. It's just like her only knowledge of sex and relationships comes from her dad's like erotic novels. So this is just like what she thought it was like, and learning that that's not actually how he's going to act around her is a process that takes a couple of episodes, but she figures it out by like, I don't know, like episode 4 or so. And then after that, like it's just like a good wholesome romance.
Yeah, like there was that one scene too. What was it? Where they're they like kiss for the first time, right? Like, spoiler, sorry.
Yeah, last episode.
They kiss, and then she's like, she hears like someone else talking like, oh, like, you know, they were such a good kisser, they like kissed so many other people, and like they have that weird like thing where they don't want to talk about the other person's past partners, but like it's something that's like on their minds. And he's like, I've never kissed anyone before, I just made out with a pillow.
That was a really wholesome interaction when she finally confronts him about it. And she's like, well, you must have kissed other people you're not telling me about because you're really good at it. And he's like, you were really good at it too.
It was, oh man.
Yeah. I think that whole, like, Ao being corrupted by her father made for one of my favorite moments. It was like towards the end of the series where, I think, was it at the did they go to the hot springs? Or am I thinking of something else? Or like
you're thinking of something else.
I don't remember. But they were outside and, like, Kijima was leading Ao on, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is finally going to happen. And then with them getting really close, and Kijima was like, can we study together? I think that was my favorite part.
Yeah.
Oh, and when she's like, oh, like, she really wants him to make a move, and she, like, draws a triangle. Oh, she draws a triangle in a math workbook. And she's like, oh no, it looks like panties now. Like, oh no, he's going to get so many ideas. So he's like, oh, it's a seesaw.
And that was another great dynamic, that she tries to distance herself from him because he's distracting her too much from being able to study.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, like, I get it. Like, I'll cool off and I'll let you focus on studying. And then as soon as he does that, he's like, she's like, wait, no, but I want you to make a move.
I feel like it was like actually like a really good like almost analysis or like parody poking fun of like a lot of anime romances, because a lot of times like the girl is like a sexless being and like, or just doesn't understand anything, and the guy's the like pervy one and like keeps getting into like situations and like, you know, like they get tipsy or whatever, and like the clothes start falling off, and she's just like, please let those things happen.
Right. There are a couple of those like classic ecchi moments of like tripping over each other early on in the show, but they disappear pretty quickly as soon as they both like acknowledge that they're into each other.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, my favorite was probably the one where they're at the beach and like she's like totally prepared. He's like, I'm gonna do this right here, are you ready? Like, you better brace yourself. And she's like closing her eyes and he just like swims them back. And she just has this face of like utter like disappointment. He's like, yo, your class is in like an hour, right? Like, you better get back, you gotta change, you gotta go. She's like, yo, like, really? Like, you're gonna do this? Like, right? Yay, thanks so much.
It was just like such a weirdly mature, realistic show. I didn't expect it at all, and I really liked it.
Also had the best opening of the season.
Oh my gosh, the opening was so good.
I don't know about best opening of the season though. There are a lot of good openings.
There are a lot of good openings.
Jammed to that.
But I really like it's the best Sen that we've gotten since like Renai Circulation. Yeah, like, man, 17, like, on his quest to become 18 writers has become King Normie. But, I don't know, I think we're all in agreement that, like, we'd all really actually surprisingly recommend this. And it's also, like, half-length episodes, too, so it's pretty easy to watch through.
It definitely used the short form to its benefit as well. I think if it was 24 episodes, or 24-minute episodes, then that kind of would have been a little bit too much. Yeah. But 12 minutes was the perfect amount each week. And so it was kind of funny, though, because it aired on the same day as Fruits Basket and Senryu Shoujo. Yeah. So it was, like, just romance Fridays.
It was a lot of... and, like, it was a weird dynamic, too, because, like, Ao-chan was, like, really mature, but in, like, almost an extreme way. And, like, Fruits Basket is almost, like, really wholesome and pure in, like, an extreme way. And then you had Senryu Shoujo, which had, like, really nice moments, and you had, like, a very forward Hanakana at moments at times that was really cute. So it was a good day for anime, for romance anime. I'm like really glad I watched this.
Yeah, don't let the synopsis fool you on this one.
Yeah, I mean, because we got fooled real hard.
We did. Oh, the dad is awesome now. Do we agree the dad is hilarious?
Yeah, the dad was. Yo, remember when we first saw the character design, and we were like, "This dad is like the most stupid character."
What is this? Yeah.
But you know, he was hilarious. I really liked the field day episode.
Yeah, that was sweet. He's just trying to be a good dad, aside from the fact that he's like a horrible person.
I felt bad for the dad's editor too.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The dad put through that poor guy through the ringer.
Yeah.
Oh man. The editor too, I loved the dynamic he had with Kijiba, where like the editor's like trying to give out, like he's being a good like mentor figure, like older brother figure, and like he's like not sure if she feels uncomfortable around him, so he's like giving her an out, but Kijima can't read the room, so he's like, oh no, like I can't compete with this like super hot older guy that like has known Ao-chan forever.
All the characters in that show are disasters.
They really are. And also the friend too, Miyabi.
Yeah,
when she like photoshopped herself with Kijima.
I think that like episode mini arc, I guess everything to do with that character is like the part of the show that hit least for me. It just felt like a kind of artificial like drama distraction from the stuff I was enjoying.
I feel that too. It was a little much, but like definitely she's a disaster. Like, yeah. And then like I liked how like Ao-chan got to. Oh, and they also had like when they were talking about like how to kiss and whatnot. They got really close, and she's like, "Oh crap! I almost had my first kiss with Ao." And like everyone's like looking really intently. I'm like, God damn. So yeah, it was a fun show. I think this was one of the shows where I was like least looking forward to it, but actually like turned out to be like the show that I kept up most regularly weekly. So
I watched it all in one sitting.
Oh, interesting.
Over the weekend.
How was that for you? Just mentioning through it. Do you think you enjoyed it more?
I think I probably enjoyed it more than I would have otherwise, but it's hard to know, you know.
Right. Interesting.
I watched it because I watched it like right after we made the Blood Oath. I just went and watched like the first 3 episodes and then kept up with it weekly from there. So I'm not sitting through that in one sitting. But yeah, watching it weekly I think I liked it a lot more than if I binged through it.
Because you also got to like really enjoy the OP each week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like even between like the Senryu Shoujo and Fruits Basket openings too, it's just like
the Fruits Basket opening. Oh my gosh,
Fridays were such a good day.
It was. It had to go down on Friday.
Yeah, great Dark Horse show. Whoever would have expected?
Who thought?
Exactly. Well, on the other side, we were talking about what a great OP Ao-chan had, but there are some mixed opinions on the OPM show of the season, which is of course One Punch Man season 2. What have you guys thought of this season so far? There, at time of recording, we still have the last episode of the season left, so it's not. So for us, we haven't completely finished it, but we have. I feel like there's been more than enough to talk about with One Punch Man so far.
Yeah. I think the criticisms of this season are way overblown. Obviously, it doesn't look as good as the last season, but it still looks above average for an action anime. It looks perfectly fine.
Like, name 5 shows that look as good as One Punch Man season 1, right? Like,
yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
The content, I can see either side of. I think I really like the plot that's going on, but it doesn't really have like some of the moments that the first season did. Like the fight against the Sea King was like a huge like legit emotional moment in that show. And this season hasn't had anything like that. Maybe like the fight between what's his name, the hero hunter, and like the big group of
Garo?
Between Garo and the big group of A-class heroes. Had some moments that were kind of along the same line, but definitely not as strong as like Moomin Rider versus Sea King.
Yeah,
right.
I think,
dude, Moomin Rider versus Sea King. Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I did a mashup of Don't Lose Your Way and Moomin Rider
nice.
Back when that was popular to do. that really dates how old One Punch Man was.
But for me, I would say I have mixed opinions about this. I'm not 100% caught up to it, mostly because
100%?
Not 100%, no. But I definitely think that the art is like the least of my worries about it. I found that the mini tournament arc that they had in the middle, I just like completely fell out of touch with that at that point, because I don't even know who's the main character in this season. That's what I want to know.
It's Garo, obviously.
That's really why is Garo.
Yeah, it's a deconstruction of a shonen.
Okay, that's why. Okay.
Guys, don't you know it's too deep for you?
My brain is too small to understand One Punch Man.
It's too smooth-brained. You need a wrinkly brain.
But no, that tournament arc. The one thing that really kind of irks me about that is they would be showing like Saitama fighting someone, and then just completely swap over to the like S and A class heroes fighting like the villains. And that was just, I just wanted to watch the tournament arc. I don't know. Am I like in the... I wish they had spaced that out better.
It felt weird, yeah. I felt like they were trying to harken to like older shonen.
Yeah. There was like no transitions.
By doing the tournament arc, but they also had it in the middle of like a huge thing happening. Yeah. So, I don't know. I feel like Dragon Ball Z handled it better when they had the androids show up during that... was it the... No, it was after the androids. It was... during the Majin Buu saga, where they had the tournament arc, and then like things happened at the same time. But they had like one episode on this, one episode on that, and like went back and forth. Yeah,
I think that the goal was kind of to be like, all of this shit is happening outside, and Saitama is doing some dumb bullshit and has no idea.
And that's why he can't come in to help.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to see more of the stuff happening outside, and wasn't interested in the martial arts tournament.
It reminded me a lot of the reasoning for, like, in Avengers, why, like, Captain Marvel doesn't just show up all the time. Like, they needed to keep Saitama busy the same way they need to keep, like, Captain Marvel busy.
Yeah, right.
like they were like, oh crap, like Saitama can just like single-handedly, literally just handle all of these problems. How can we stop that? I know, a tournament arc where he says he wants to learn martial arts and then he just punches everyone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I haven't been the biggest fan. Like, of course, the fighting animation isn't as good. I rewatched the One Punch Man Saitama Genos fight again, like that 1 minute clip, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it really was so good back then. But like,
I mean, that's like
the peak,
maybe
right?
The best animated TV anime of all time.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
I'm not saying that like that's not like me giving a take. That's just like I can't really think of any other action shows that measure up to it off the top of my head.
For action shonen shows, I think I think it's hard to argue with that. Yeah. I think consistency as well. I think like because there are sometimes like some anime that have like really amazing moments, like Hero Aka can have like really good moments, but it's not like the consistency that One Punch Man have. And sure, they have the same staff, and like Mob Psycho 100 as well, but Mob Psycho 100 I feel like came and went, but it was weird, right? Because the character designs, because the character models were almost like rougher, it kind of lent itself to like having amazing fights and make it look easier. But because they kept up the high integrity of the character models during those fights as well for One Punch Man, it felt like more impressive somehow. I sound like a total animation snob right now. Someone kick me off this podcast.
And I'm definitely not an animation snob. I really don't care very much at all about animation quality and stuff I watch. Like if something's really good, then I definitely appreciate it, but it's not like subpar animation is never going to significantly detract from something for me.
I don't know. Have you seen Citrus?
No, I haven't seen Citrus.
Wait, okay.
But yeah, I know what you mean. Like because the art style of Mob Psycho is so like loose and wonky already, it lends itself really easily to super fluid animation.
Yeah,
whereas
relatively
more like
speaking,
traditional
right?
anime style. Yeah. Whereas more traditional anime style like One Punch Man with the super high fidelity characters and everything, that they're able to make models that detailed look as good as they do with such good animation is way more impressive, even though end result they probably end up looking like about as good as each other.
Yeah.
Right. It's the same problem that like Naruto ran into a lot, where like in non-fight scenes the character models look like very high definition, but as soon as there was a fight scene it looked like something out of The Simpsons. So, but yeah, like I don't know. To me, this is a step down from One Punch Man Season 1, like in every aspect, like story-wise, plot-wise, animation-wise, like how much do I care about this wise?
Yeah.
Like the Garou thing, I think could have been more interesting, but they like it almost like they almost beat you over the head with it a little too much.
Yeah, that's true. I do really like it plot-wise. I think in that sense, it's better than the first season. And I like Garou a lot.
Yeah, Garou's cool.
But I can see the argument that they beat you over the head with Garou's I was going to call it ideals, but that's not really right.
You all know how much you love your ideals, though.
Well, that's why I wanted to say it, but...
He's an ally of monsters.
He's an enemy of justice.
Seigi no Teki, I think, or I don't know. But yeah, have they name dropped One Punch Man? They gave him the nickname though. It was like the bald dude or whatever.
Yeah, in the tournament arc,
Caped Baldy.
Caped
his
Baldy,
official hero name.
Yeah. So I don't know. What about you, Minds? Do you think you'd recommend this to someone who is like on the fence of One Punch Man? Like people who loved One Punch Man Season 1 are going to watch One Punch Man Season 2.
No. Overall, I'm pretty indifferent about it. I'd say like it's fine if you want if you liked One Punch Man. I say the first season. I would say to give it a shot. Just know that it's not. Don't go in expecting the same as the first season.
Yeah.
Even in animation and stuff, the animation doesn't really faze me. I'm kind of with Sinris on this one, where I can appreciate good animation, but if it's not good animation, it doesn't really affect my enjoyment of something. But it feels like at times they just looked at a panel of the manga and just kind of bare bones animated that. Like, especially with Suiryu, like, kicking Saitama and stuff. I keep thinking about, like, what could it have been if Madhouse had done this? But overall...
Not even Madhouse, because like, very few Madhouse people actually worked on it. It was mostly Bones people working on it. Yeah.
Well, what it could have been had it not been... JC staff, they tried.
Yeah.
But I think it's a step down as well. But I'd still recommend. If you liked One Punch Man, give it a shot. But I'm not... like into it.
I like the manga art is so good too, especially Murata's Yusuke Murata's art in the manga as well. So it's like the One Punch Man season 1 was so crazy because the animation was even better than the already amazing manga art. And then season 2, it's like it's lesser than the manga art, and then now I sound like a huge source reader animation snob. Holy crap, jeez.
I also think it's just not as funny as the first season was.
No.
Yeah. The first season's humor didn't always hit with me, but the bits that did were really funny, and there's just not very much of that now.
I do appreciate Saori Hayami being in this one, though, with Fubuki.
I agree.
So,
Big agree.
I mean, always.
Once Tatsumaki appeared as well, like, I think it got better, but...
Tatsumaki only had, like,
one scene.
I know, exactly.
She was
that
like,
scene was
you
glorious,
hurt my
though.
little sister. She's like Aranagi. She's
That scene was glorious, though.
Yo, Aoyuki and Hayami, like, I can't even imagine the budget for the voice actresses for that.
Yojo Senki, though. They're both the mains in that.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So they're both mains in the anime of the century Isekai Quartet?
Yeah. Shouldn't you know this?
Isn't that an anime? Like, shouldn't you know this?
Is it?
I feel like that's the name of a light novel. Like, shouldn't you know this? Something little sister incest thing.
That sounds about right.
In another world. But yeah, so speaking of In Another World, and speaking of Saori and Isekai Quartet, what did you guys think of the most ambitious crossover event in history, except not?
I feel like I'm pretty disappointed with this. There's so much missed potential in Isekai Quartet.
Yeah.
Of all the settings to have these characters in, why school? That's the first question. The second question is, why did Emilia and Megumin never talk to each other?
Oh, that was the one thing I wanted in life.
So Tay, what score did you give it?
I'm giving it a 1. I gave it a 1. I said I would give it a 1 if it did not have those two talking to each other.
I was gonna hold you to that.
I am a man of my, like, you have Ria Takahashi there. She's voicing Emilia and Megumin in the same episodes. So it's not like she can't do it. And it's not like you even need them to talk over it. They can just say hi to each other, okay? That's all I wanted. It's like the Bechdel test, but with, like, a Takahashi. It's the Takahashi test.
Pretty much.
And it failed the Takahashi test.
I think they were only in one scene together, and it was during the, like, field day. And Union was the one that was, like, in between them. So...
I was like, is this going to be it? Is this going to be it? Is this going to be it? No.
Union has to mess everything up once again.
Classic fucking Union.
Yo, if you want to hear more about things Union is fucking up, just check out the Best Girl contest and all the,
hey,
live streams.
Guys, did you know that Union sucks and has no friends?
Ooh. I did not.
Can I be a writer for this show now? That was a joke, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, that was a really good joke.
That's a joke. That's a Konosuba joke from Isekai Quartet. They say that Union doesn't have any friends.
Wait, do they? I feel like... Oh, yeah. Did they say that once? Twice?
No, I don't know.
3
Just
times?
in case, I'm going to say it again because it'll keep being funny if I do that.
I think so, too. Hey, Sinners, but did you know that if you watch the Best Girl live streams where we talk about Union sometimes, and you retweet the tweets that have those links, and you follow the R Anime podcast, Sentai Filmworks, and HIDIVE, because they're graciously providing the R Anime podcast with a giveaway, you can win one of 7 Blu-rays to go along with your enjoyment of the Best Girl contest, and more description for that is in those respective episodes. Did you know that, Sinris?
I did know that. Because you flaked out on us for the last one, so I had to do. I had to do all of the shilling myself.
I'm so proud of you. See, man, you really could be a writer for Konosuba. Not only can you shill, which is basically what this is, just shilling the source material, but you can also say the same Union joke 5 times in a row.
Yeah, I feel like the lack of that interaction we all craved is just kind of like a microcosm of one of the many things that made this show bad. Is that even when they have the easy jokes right in front of them, they just don't go for it.
Yeah.
And instead just repeat the same the same bullshit.
Yeah.
Over and over again. Like during the beach episode, there's one shot of Ainz in like the whole bit where they're on the beach.
Yeah.
And without his like clothes, his huge cloak, he's just a normal looking skeleton. And that's fucking hilarious.
And they don't point it out.
They don't mention it at all. He's in one still frame shot. And that's it.
They're not like, oh, hey, like, looks like you slimmed down, or like, what's with the whole getup? Like, how do your shoulder pads work if like you have like no shoulders? And
yes.
Like, nope.
Instead, did you guys know that when girls are in bathing suits, you can kind of see their boobs?
Whoa.
Really? Especially if they do push-ups?
Yeah, because that's all they talk about in the entire episode.
Oh, it was... Do you guys know that meme? The one with like the car that's like driving on a highway and like quickly swerves to try and find an exit?
Yeah.
That's like this one. It's like good, well thought out jokes is like the main avenue, and the exit is like terrible jokes for Isekai Quartet. And that's just the writers for this.
But it's getting a second season.
It's getting a second fucking season, because of course it is.
What other Isekai shows are produced by Kadokawa?
I have no idea about Kadokawa.
Kadokawa is a huge publisher.
Yeah,
Shield
they
Hero,
do everything.
I think it's Shield Hero.
The No Game No Life movie as well.
Oh yeah, they have Sword Art Online. If they bring in Sword Art Online, No Game No Life, Shield Hero. Maybe they'll. Yeah, they also have Index. The Rail Deck series, if I remember correctly.
It could be anything.
It could be you.
It could be 17.
That's the whole point of Isekai Quartet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was so bad.
We're all Isekai Quartet deep down inside.
The real Isekai Quartet were the friends we made along the way.
I will give
the real
Isekai
Quartet was the jokes we missed along the way.
Wait, did you know there was... I'm looking at like what Kadokawa has produced. Did you know they made a school version of Last Girls Tour?
I did not.
Why?
Yeah, Girls Last Tour. Yeah, they made like a school O&A version. It's like 1 minute per episode of just the girls in a what if setting if civilization was still around.
That actually sounds cute as fuck, actually.
Yeah.
I want to check that out.
I would rather watch this than You know what? Thank you, Isekai Quartet, for letting me know about this.
Thank you.
It's
actually,
cool.
Thank you, Isekai Quartet, for letting me know about Tanya, because Tanya's actually really cool.
Yeah, Tanya is
probably the funniest character.
Yeah, I was gonna say that if anything, Isekai Quartet is going to get me to watch Yojo Senki.
Guys, you're letting the companies win.
I know, and I feel dirty about it, but Tanya was legit fun, like, every time she opened her mouth.
Pretty much.
And she was the only character for whom I can say that.
Yeah. Ooh, the correct use of whom as well.
Yes.
I don't fucking... You should be teaching these classes. You should be a teacher. Yo, podcast quartet when? Issei pod? Issei pod? Oh, man. It's, yeah, that's something. But, you know... While this did not live up to the billing of Anime of the Year, we did have an anime that has restaked its claim in many people's eyes as a real contender for not just Anime of the Season, but Anime of the Year, and that is, and of course, major spoilers. Are you guys watching the show that I'm about to talk about? Because I'm about to spoil really bad.
What, why the hell are you here, teacher?
No! Attack on Titan.
Oh, that one. The other Anime of the Year.
That was a great swerve. Both shows that had a title drop this season, too. So,
Yeah.
You're not wrong. So, have you guys watched Shingeki no Kyojin?
I have.
Yeah.
I loved that, the title drop where it's like, that'd be a great meme edit for, like, Best Guy Contest if Eren makes it pretty far. It's like, or like best anime, if there was a best anime contest, they just like the anime that's always been at the forefront, that sought freedom, that's been at the head of a revolution and at battles, the Attack Titan. And when they're like, no, finally after all these years, the mistranslation has bit itself in the ass.
So. Yeah, this season fucking slaps. Yeah. And that's really all there is to say about it.
Jeez. Yo, oh my god, as a source reader, I've been waiting like 2.5 years for the Serum Bowl. What'd you guys think of it?
So I'm an anime only to this.
Oh.
Like, I haven't read the source. I don't know anything. I didn't know anything prior to this season, like what to expect. Except everyone was saying it was going to be the best season of Attack on Titan, which is completely fair after watching it.
Yeah.
But the whole first half build up into the massive midway fight, and then I thought we were gonna have like a nice, calm slice of life episode after. But then we went right into that gut punching. Who's gonna be the
spoiler alert?
Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers.
What's up? Is
course language.
Just okay, never mind. I guess I was trying to put the spoiler censor down, but.
Sinners, have you not watched it?
No, I have, but
okay. I mean, people can read the look at the the timestamps, right?
I guess so. That's fair.
Yeah, yeah. We can just or at the worst case, we could just put dolphin noises over it again. Yeah, they keep the dolphin around. That's why they want to go to the sea, so that they can, because they make the dolphin the colossal titan.
Yeah,
but yeah. Oh man, what'd you guys think of the Serum Bowl and like who? Oh man, like everything. Okay, let's talk about everything leading up to the Serum Bowl first. Too.
Everything leading up to the Serum Bowl, like I said, fucking slapped.
It did.
Erwin's blast charge.
Oh my god, it was
goosebumps.
So good.
Oh my god, I loved that. Like they handled that so well.
Yes.
Like the shot of like all the dead people, and he's like, Levi, don't you see them? And he like everyone, just all the people he sacrificed to get here.
Mm-hmm.
I do think if I have to make any criticism about that season, it's over the course of that battle. At the end of it, they did weenie out on deaths a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Reiner died like 3 times this season and then just didn't actually any of them.
He is the plot armored Titan. It's in his name.
The plot armored Titan. I love that. And then
Zeke survived. Zeke surviving, I kind of get.
They very unambiguously told us that Armin was dead after he fell to the ground as a piece of charcoal. And then he wasn't actually and survived another 15 minutes while everyone bickered about what to do with his corpse.
He's wheezing in the background and fairly loudly, and they're probably just the wind.
So that was a little disappointing. But
also, Erwin survives without half his lower body. He should have bled out.
Yeah, right? I'm fine with the fact that they both did survive briefly so that you could have Serum Bowl. But, don't try to cliffhanger trick us into thinking they're dead only to reveal at the beginning of the next episode that they're not. That's just cheap.
Yeah. Man, my roommate was watching it, and he was when Armin, we think Armin dies, right? He's I thought Armin would let go. He's I didn't think they'd actually kill off Armin. And then he was oh, of course he's still alive. They'll bring him out. He's no, Erwin's still alive too.
It definitely had the desired effect.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot deny that.
Once they started, I didn't really know what was going to happen, like I said, but once Armin was breathing, and then they brought Erwin, and then they showed the one syringe, I was just oh no, I can see where this is going. And that episode was just so well done too. Mm-hmm. I had the biggest lump in my throat watching. The fact that there was no music that episode was really powerful as well. That silence was haunting, and then all the voice actors really went above and beyond with it.
Isn't that a Taylor Swift lyric? No, keep going.
But I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry. You know a joke is bad, and even Tay stops in the middle of it, and they're no, that was bad.
But no, both sides had really sound arguments for
Did Armin have a sound argument? Let's be real.
Well, it was
not really.
I think Armin was like, it came down to Erwin was like focused on the past, and Armin was like focused on the future or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's really good. They made a huge point of showing that Armin is like a very capable leader in the episodes leading up to that.
Yeah,
which I think was super valuable, because if they didn't show that Armin like has the potential to be a leader, then choosing him over Erwin is just absolutely moronic.
Right.
But they telegraphed that well enough that it doesn't feel like the stupidest thing they possibly could have done.
Right. It's not the stupid. It's pretty stupid still.
Yeah.
But it's not the stupidest thing they could have done. Yeah, and like Levi, so Erwin/Charge and him leading all those recruits being like, yo, you're all going to die in the most painful way possible. Who is up for it?
Give me your hearts.
Great. Oh man. And then I love how the Beast Titan is like, before Reiner and Bertolt left, they were like, hey, if like you see Captain Levi, like, you better watch out. He's kind of scary. It's like the understatement of the year. Yeah. Because Levi just uses the fucking row of Titans to get to him. Oh, man.
That was so cool.
That was...
man. He's such a badass.
Yeah. Oh, my God. That was so good. And also, like, to me, like, Attack on Titan's really weird because it is not a consistently well-animated show. There are times where it looks really terrible and like really skims out on like being well animated and well drawn. But what they realized, like I think in season 1, like definitely starting in season 2, is that people didn't give a shit if the non-action scenes weren't well animated, as long as like the action scenes were really well animated.
Yeah.
And then they were like, suddenly everyone's going to praise us for being amazingly well animated all the time, and they're like, Yes, we are. Thank you. But yeah, I mean that Levi fight was great, and then Levi like holding Zeke hostage and like just shoving the blade in his mouth and be like, "Is anyone alive? I can have you eat him." Like anyone? Bueller. But so I wasn't too mad when Zeke got away, because like Levi made the right choice, in my opinion, to like hold out to the last second to see if he could save even one person. Yeah.
Oh wait.
What?
Oh, did I just have a plot point realization that I could? Is that a spoiler?
Hi, Tutoru. Okay, so they're worried about whether or not saying the name Zeke is a spoiler or not, whether it was actually said in the anime or not. It was said in the anime. Here's a screen cap. That's it. End of story. Case closed. Bye.
Is that a spoiler?
You motherfucker! God damn it, Tay!
I thought that was said.
Curse those dolphins in the background.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, did they not say?
Tay, you bitch! I can't remember.
No,
if they said.
All he said was like, your father and I are like, you and I are one and the same under your father, or something like that. Like he said it like in passing when he was being carried off.
There was definitely hints that as soon as you said that, I was like, oh shit! Oh. But I don't remember what those hints were exactly.
Yeah, okay. Fuck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. You're going to have to wait until fall 2020 for the follow-up to this. Oh my gosh. To me, like, I was like, oh yeah, like that, because I stopped reading the manga because I had caught up like a chapter after this ends, or like a couple chapters afterwards. Did they not call him that at one point? I thought Reiner and Bertolt called him that at the top of the wall.
I can't remember if they did or not. They might have.
In which case
you're not a bitch, and I'm just like, oh shit, I just put that together.
You would have no idea that that's important.
Right, when they say it, yeah. That name means nothing to you at that point.
No. God damn it. I'm the worst. But yeah,
you might not be the worst. I might just have a bad memory.
I mean, also, like, there's no reason for anyone to know unless you, like, went back and you saw. Right. The hints are there, but I also ruined it. I'm sorry. I apologize to everyone. Oof.
But speaking of that, though.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
man.
Not speaking of it, but, like, just in general, like, the continuity in the show is amazing. to say the least. Like the fact that they were calling back stuff that minor stuff that happened 40 episodes ago that I hardly remember from the first season. It's pretty insane. Like with Annie and like Ymir alluding to stuff that like another like civilization and all that.
Right.
It was like whiplash almost. How like a mind blown sort of feeling.
You find out that the Smiling Titan ate her husband's new wife.
And it definitely made me feel like I need to go back and rewatch season 2. Because when season 2 aired, I was not into it. I thought most of the season was pretty boring. I didn't really care about Ymir as a character. But now that we actually like know shit that's going on, I'm like, oh, all of this was pretty important.
I get it. Like to me, like I can't even imagine, like, because when I was watching those, I think like when you're a source reader, even when you try not to, like you supplement what's going on in the anime with manga knowledge.
Yeah, it's impossible not to do that.
So like when I was like, oh, like because the Ymir stuff happened a lot earlier in the anime too than in the manga.
Oh, really?
So I was like, whoa, they're doing this a lot earlier. Because like it happens a little later, so like you have to kind of like even then you have to like recall stuff that happened earlier in the manga too, instead of like it happening like right after each other. So yeah, like they called back to the Smiling Titan. They called back to the fight between the royal family and Eren's dad. Yeah, dude. Oh man, that was well done. I thought the coordinate stuff too. Yeah.
I was also hitting a point during like the flashback bits. I was like trying to remember how many of the Titan shifters we've seen, and I just could not.
So we've seen Ymir's Titan.
Yeah, do we know what that one's name is?
No, not
yet.
No, you don't. That's why I said Ymir's Titan.
Yeah, right.
You have Ymir's Titan. You have Annie's Titan. You have the Armored Titan, the Colossal Titan, the Attack Titan, the Beast Titan, and the Point Titan or the King Titan, which is
the Founding Titan.
The Founding Titan, right? Which is what presumably Eren's dad ate.
Right.
After he already had the attack on Titan.
We saw that happen, didn't we? In the first half of season 3, he breaks into the crystal caverns or whatever.
Yes.
And
so technically, Eren has 2 Titans inside of him. Sorry, I can't count. 2 Titans.
Right.
And
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then the other 5 are out there. Adventure is out there. But yeah, it's what'd you guys think of the flashback stuff?
Flashback stuff was cool. It was nothing like I was gonna say it was nothing like too shocking, but that's not really true. It was nothing that like blew my mind in the sense that I never saw this coming, aside from small details like the Smiling Titan being Grisha's first wife.
Tina.
But like the existence of like the other civilization has been like heavily hinted at for a while now, so that didn't like blow me away or anything like that. It was less of like a mind-blowing revelation. It was just like, finally, these are the answers kind of deal.
We finally know what's in the basement.
I know.
No kidding.
Oh, the basement. When Eren said the key didn't work, I like visibly rolled my eyes.
Yeah, me too.
I was just like,
fucking kidding
can
me?
we not? But then the key to the basement was Levi's foot all along, so whatever.
The real key were the foots that stepped on us along the way.
But like, I don't know what I was expecting to be in the basement. But the book that they found was not what I was expecting, but I welcome it.
Yeah, I was expecting some sort of like tool or like weapon, something
Honestly,
that would help them fight.
I was kind of hoping it would be another serum to revive Erwin. Like,
oh, they go back and they're like, yo, like Erwin's still alive, right?
I'm happy it wasn't that. That would have been such a cop out.
But just because I like Erwin a lot, I don't want to. It was like sad to see him go.
I will miss Erwin,
but
I would recommend to anyone who hasn't to either read the manga that's like the Levi origin manga. The OVA like kind of handles it too. It's a 2-part OVA that handles the chapters. I think it's like 8 chapters, but like it doesn't go in as detail as the manga does, which is itself based off a visual novel, if I remember correctly. But if anyone has like trouble with that Erwin Levi decision, like I feel like that manga, that OVA series really sheds light on their dynamic.
Cool. Erwin was my favorite character.
Yes.
So
I really liked Erwin.
It'll be interesting to see what happens without him now. I think he carried the show through a lot of periods where I didn't really care about the stupid plot stuff that was happening because it was too complicated to follow.
He also gave us a lot of great memes.
Yeah.
Like the Sasageo.
Now that the plot has developed enough that I'm invested in that, I don't think I'll miss him too much. There are lots of other things to keep me up now.
And so it doesn't even feel like Attack on Titan anymore. It feels like Shingeki no Kyojin. Because, like, I didn't follow. No, it doesn't even feel like it's about the Titans anymore, really. Like, this new civilization.
Yeah.
But, like, it just completely changed tones where it's going.
It kind of reminds me of, like, Gurren Lagann, in a way. Like, Gurren Lagann's first half versus Gurren Lagann's second half.
No comment.
Yeah.
Interesting. Senryu. Sure. Interesting. Do you not like Gurren Lagann?
I haven't seen Gurren Lagann.
Oh, interesting.
I get what you're saying, though.
Thank you, Minds. You're picking up what I'm putting down?
I get the vibes.
You're smelling what he's stepping in?
Ooh, but yeah, like, if it's number 2 on Mal, I don't know if I completely agree.
I mean, do I think it's the second best anime of all time? No, of course not. Do I think that taking Mal rankings seriously is ever a good idea? No.
Yes, of course.
Is it a very good, very recent show? Yes. That's pretty much all Mal rankings mean.
Yeah, it'll go down, I imagine, here in a little bit. I'm not really too opposed to it being like the next show that has over a 9 on Mal, though.
Yeah.
I just remember when Violet Evergarden was like 2 for a day when it came out on like AX and only 1 episode was out.
Remember when Erased was number like 4 on Mal for an entire run?
And then as soon as it ended, it dropped to like the hundreds.
Yeah.
Like it was like a Mal updates twice a day, and I just remember people being like, "Yo, how far is it gonna drop now?" Yeah, it's a thing. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. As a source reader, I thought it did a lot right. Yeah, and I'm excited for the final season.
Me too.
Yeah. Make that 3.
Ooh, Attack on Titan season 3.
Part 3.
Part 3? 3.33. Wait, this is 3.0 plus 1.0.
Oh, shit.
What if the last season of Attack on Titan is the last Rebuild of Evangelion movie?
I just thought of a joke, but it's Ava spoilers, so I'm not going to do that.
It's on Netflix now. You can't spoil. You
that
just type it to
make any difference.
Send it to me later, Senryu. I love your jokes.
Okay, it wasn't a great joke. It was just about like
it was a great joke, Senryu.
What Titans really are and what Avas really are, you know. Yeah.
Yes.
You got it.
I got it.
You're smelling.
I got it. I'm smelling what
you're smelling what
I've literally never heard that saying before. Is that a Boston saying?
No, that is a saying I've only ever heard from a girl I had a crush on in high school.
Did she step on a lot of things?
No, it was, it was just another way of saying that exact same thing. But it's hilarious, so I've kept it ever since then.
Man. Speaking of sayings that are hilarious, no matter how many ways you say it, the pun show of the season, we had Hitoribocchi no Marumaru Seikatsu, or just Hitoribocchi. And yeah, it was a very cute show with a ton of puns, including puns with end puns, like Nako with 75, and her getting a 75 on a quiz.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a very cute show. I don't know, what'd you guys think of this one?
I like this one a lot. Oh, you didn't watch this?
I didn't know.
Oh, you're missing out. This show's a lot of fun.
My radar.
It's really cute. Gambaru Bean!
This one was another show with a great opening.
Yes.
I really like the shot at the end of the OP where she like comes down off of like the rainbow slide and like lands on the ground and like balls up and like crunches her face with the fist with like the determined face. And then jumps up and all of the other friends like spring out from behind her. It's so cute.
It's such a cute show. It's so I am a little sad that, we didn't get the Nasu staple with the Sotoka Rakita.
Oh yeah.
It was actually Sotoka Rakita. Which means it's from Sotokara Akita, which means came from outside. because she's a foreign exchange student.
Because
There was a great article on Mal that actually went through all the puns of the names, like Hitoribocchi meaning alone, loneliness.
Yeah, lonely.
Sunao Nako being Sunao Nako, which means like honest child, but we also had the Nako which is Nana is 7 and Go is 5.
Uh-huh.
And then she had Honsho Aru, and we had Aru, who is really cute and the world's vice president. Honsho Aru means has a hidden nature.
Oh, really? That's good.
And when she shows up as an elementary school kid and she names her her fake younger sister Honshu Mieru, it means hidden nature is visible.
Oh, that's awesome.
You had Kurai Kako, which means dark past.
Oh, edgy.
Yes. You had the teacher Oshieteruyo, or Oshieteruyo, or I'll teach you.
Okay.
Yawara Kai, which was, or Kai-chan, the girl who made the promise with Bochi. Her name means gentle.
Well, that's wrong because she's the worst.
She's the worst.
I hate that girl.
Yo, at first I was like, what if she made this whole thing because she had cancer and she wanted Bochi to make friends?
Oh god, you were really reading into this.
I was like, yo, that would be so sad. That'd be the saddest thing. She wants Bochi to make friends because she's not gonna be with her anymore and she's going to pass away. No, she's perfectly healthy and fine. She's just an asshole.
I liked it at first because it was a wholesome idea at first, which is Bochi, we're going to different schools. I'm not going to be around all the time. If you have to make other friends, or else you're going to be miserable. So, you can't lean on me as a crutch anymore. Until you start making friends, we have to go.
And then she started making friends.
And then she started making friends, and runs into her again when she's hanging out with a bunch of friends, and she's like, "Look, I'm making progress. I have all these friends," and the girl completely ignores her.
Yeah,
just walks away, doesn't even look at her, while Bochi collapses crying on the ground because her best friend won't fucking talk to her.
Even her friends are yo, isn't that the girl you're worrying about? Shouldn't you say something to her? She's kind of sobbing on the floor. She's like, no, I have to, let me have my scene.
Yeah, fuck that girl. That's the coldest shit I've ever seen.
The next name is a little funnier than that one. It's by the glasses girl who makes pancakes with Bochi. Her name is Kurieto. Or create. And her friend is the one who is always hungry, Onaka Peko, or I'm starving, I'm hungry.
I did not realize all of the names in this show were puns.
You had the rich girl whose name was Ojo-sama yo.
Okay.
Which I wonder what that means.
Oh, that girl was weird. That girl did not need to exist in this show. She
really
felt so
didn't.
out of place.
She shows up and she's like, I can give you a job making paper cranes. Here's money. Can we buy the school? No. Oh, okay.
And then she doesn't appear for the rest of the show.
No. And finally, the senpai that tells Bochi not to cry as she's pinning on the thing.
Yeah.
The corsage. Her name is Nakanai Karane, which is Nakanai Karane means I won't cry.
Oh.
Yeah, every name in this show was a pun. It was kind of great.
So basically, it's made for you.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It was so cute, so wholesome, so fun. It kind of reminded me of older Doga Kobo shows, like Mikakuren, Love Live, not Love Live. Wrong shit. Love Lab. Yuri, a lot of wholesome, sweet, school shows instead of what they've had lately, which we can get to in a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. It was really fun. It was really sweet. I would definitely recommend it.
Nako is best girl of the season.
Nako best. Also, we had the Wahaha meme.
Yeah, Wahaha.
Wahaha.
The dynamic between Aru and Nako was so fucking funny. Nako is just the perfect level of sarcastic shit.
Oh yeah, it was great, and I was just not. Yo, I love how they all making fun of Aru's obviously very cutesy kawaii kind of demeanor she has. Gambaru beam. You gotta do your best meme.
Yeah. How did you feel about Sotoka?
Sotoka, she like was annoying sometimes, but like her little episode was fine. She was cute.
Yeah, she was definitely like the weakest of the main characters, but not bad enough that like she annoyed me.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of like a weird gimmick for this show. Didn't feel like it needed to be there.
When she was like by herself for like Christmas and New Year's, though, they had that one shot.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was fine, I guess. I don't know. I was too busy like enjoying Nako.
Right.
Nako was just so funny. I like how the teacher is like petrified of her.
Oh, that was such a weird running gag.
Like she's like, okay, everyone, Kiri, like rise, bow, and like the teacher's bowing to her, and Nako's like, why the hell are you bowing here, Sensei? So some people, I'm shaking my head at mines.
I need to watch it. This seems like my type of thing. I don't know how I missed it.
It's really sweet. They're so wholesome. And like I thought I would get annoyed with Hitoribocchi, like with Bocchi like crying all the time, but it was like actually kind of endearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So yeah, another endearing show of this season was Senryu Shoujo, which we alluded to earlier. Another one of their shorts of the season, and my goodness, this show was so wholesome and so sweet.
Yeah. 2 days ago, I was so ready to come into this episode and talk up Senryu Shoujo and how, like, good and sweet and wholesome and refreshing of a romance it was. And then I watched Ao-chan, and it's just better.
Like, it really is surprising. Like, you don't expect the shorts to have that kind of vibe to them. You expect shorts to be, like, kind of bad.
Yeah.
But no, like, Senryu Shoujo was fine. Ao-chan did a lot of things better, but like Senryu Shoujo was fine. Yeah. I like the drawing girl when she like just drew her.
Oh, she was a great addition to the show. That was a really funny gag.
I still think that the student like the club president was my favorite.
Oh,
she was good.
But this is another one that I think uses the short form to its benefit. Like full length episodes of this would have gotten really boring really fast.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I know at the beginning we all said that the male character was the best, but I think as it went on, Nanako sort of passed him for me.
Yeah,
especially
I would agree with that.
That the episode where the dad was so paranoid about her rebelling.
Oh yeah,
that was gold.
I was not a fan of the dad. I thought he was pretty annoying.
To me, he just felt like the stereotypical Asian dad of a daughter. Who's like super controlling and like super terrified of everything.
Yeah, right. Which is like what he's supposed to be, so that's fine.
I'm glad they didn't do it for like the entire season. Like, and if it was for like a full length episode, I think I would have gotten annoyed with it. But for like a half length episode and like him clearly misunderstanding things to a insane degree, I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah. It was fine. My least favorite of the gags they used, but it was not so bad that it like ruined the show or anything.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were gonna like say something else. Like
nope, that's it.
Okay. I thought you were gonna be like, oh, like the what's his face is like older sister kind of deal, and how she's like super into him, and he's like, nope, not about that life.
That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
She was not like as prominent in the show though, so whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for the fortune teller girl either, but she wasn't in it that much as well. But I have to give it to Reddit for this one because all 12 episodes, the discussion thread, everyone was like replying in Senryu.
Yeah, that was super cool.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's awesome. I mean, yeah, it was fun. Hanakana did a great job. If you told me, like I thought it would be tough when Hayamin voiced a deaf character. But now we have Hanakana voicing mute characters.
Sure, but then she just writes the thing, and then Hanakana says the thing that she wrote.
She doesn't take away
it's not
from
really
the
same.
True. But yeah, I loved having Hanakana speak essentially only in Senryu. Is very sweet.
Yeah.
Nice
I really liked how, just like how weird and bad all of the guys Senryu are.
Oh yeah,
that was actually like a really good foundation for their relationship. As he starts going to like these poetry meetings, and he's just terrible at it. But she's like, "Oh, Like, he's really bad, but it's kind of cute.
Uh-huh. It was endearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had a really sweet dynamic. It was fun. It was nice seeing a girl who's like kind of the instigator's the wrong word, but like
alpha?
kind of the yeah. Yes, as the alpha.
Yeah, she's alpha as fuck.
She is alpha AF. Oh man. Yeah, it was fun. It was sweet. It was cute. It was a party. But the party is over. And now we're going to be talking about Dororo, which is now over.
Party finally over.
Yeah. But I still want to dance.
I do still want to dance. Bring this show back.
Bring the OP back, honestly.
Yeah, bring the first OP back. The second OP is bad.
The second OP is so... Oh my god. The first OP is so iconic. Have you seen the music video for it?
I have not.
Oh my gosh. The singer is like the most fashion icon. So the kind of pop that they sing is they've labeled it as fashion rock.
Nice.
And it's like the singer wears like a dress, wears like really like punk like stuff, and it's like,
oh shit, this sounds like exactly up my alley.
Like looks really great. They're in
great
like a
song,
warehouse,
fashion rock, cross dressing.
There's like a warehouse. There's like a warehouse, and like there's all these like really funky colors going on, and it's like super cool. Oh, it's super artsy, super fashion, and like just the rap in the middle too, and the actual full song. Oh my gosh, like they hit everything.
Dope. What's the name of this song?
It's Kaon. It's on Spotify as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Dororo. Oh my gosh, what a fun show.
What a show. I think I ended up giving it a low 8.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I have a confession to make.
Uh-oh.
The party may be over for you all, but the party's only halfway done for me.
Oh,
I miserably failed trying to catch up to this show because
Doro, no.
No, but I don't mind the spoilers. It's okay.
Get the fuck out of here.
But every time, like, this show is not good for binging due to its episodic nature.
I feel that.
Every time I would go to like watch this, I found myself only getting through 1 or 2 episodes before I would be like, this is enough Dororo for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But I made it about halfway through, so
it's an episodic
that
show
good
for sure.
shit mid-season climax. But
yeah, that's why I was kind of waffling back and forth between a 7 and an 8 on this one for me, largely because like all of this like plot necessary episodes are really good, but a lot of like the episodic bits in the middle are not very good at all.
The second core brought it down a lot for me.
Yeah, I loved the last few episodes. They were so intense, they were so emotional, they were fucking brutal. I'm disappointed Mines hasn't seen it, so I can't spoil some of the crazy shit that happens.
It's fine.
Okay,
dude, the shiny Rapidash though.
Yeah, so you know like the flaming horses from the first OP?
Yeah.
One of those shows up in like the final thing, and Hyakimaru rides it, and like the final battle against Tohomaru, and you know Tohomaru's like 2 retainers.
Yeah.
The horse bites off Hyogo's head.
Oh.
Just like rips his head clean off.
It doesn't even cut away from it. It just like shows it right there.
That's all you like. That's enough for me to go finish it right now.
Yo, it gets crazy. Oh yeah, the shark stuff too.
And the sharks are good. Tohomaru's eyes at the end. That was the creepiest shit I've ever seen in my life.
I was not okay with that. I was like, nope, this is the stuff of nightmares.
Oh, the end of the show was so good. And
it was just the middle stuff.
Yeah. Although I do want to say one defense of some of the middle stuff. I saw a lot of people who were annoyed that like the like villains of the week, the monsters they were fighting in the first half of the show were like big cool monsters, and then a lot of the ones very frequently in the second core were like guy who's mad about something. But I think it was important that the villains of the second core are not demons themselves, they're humans who like succumbed to like a demonic nature, who were like so furious about things that happened to them that they let themselves be like taken over by demonic influence, which is like the big theme of what's happening to Hyakimaru in the second half of the show, is that he started to go like so one-minded, wanting to get back his body parts, that he's willing to like do like cruel and brutal things to people. So I think that while I totally understand the disappointment in this shifting tone of the villains, it was important to do that for the quote-unquote themes. And the issue is not that, but just that the stories of the episodes weren't very good.
Maybe the real Hyakimaru body parts were the friends we meet along the way.
Well, actually.
I mean, technically.
Like, not even memeing, though.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It was, yeah, I don't know. For me, the peak was the Mio episodes. The 2 ones.
Oh, those are so good.
They remind me, have you guys seen Samurai Champloo?
Yes.
It reminded me of the brothel episode with Jin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what it is with samurai and, like, prostitutes. But
I do remember thinking when Mio showed up for the first time that she looked so much like Fu.
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, that was such a tragic story. I just love like the sad romantic samurai like cannot be with woman he loves stories for some reason. I don't know. It feels like traditional East Asian story to me, because like it's in so many anime involving samurai. Like Samurai Champloo, it's in Dororo, it's in Rurouni Kenshin. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I just really liked it. It was really sweet. And like it kind of humanized Hyakimaru a lot too. It was like the first moment we really saw like a more human side of him.
Yeah, definitely. That was one of the better episodes of the entire show.
I remember, I think it was Shaw. I was about gonna watch Dororo on a plane or something. And I was like, hey, like, is Dororo plane safe? And she's like, well, episode 4 has something that's similar to fan service. So, like, maybe you don't want to watch it on plane.
Similar to fan service, oh no.
I was like, why would Dororo have fan service stuff? I was like, okay. And I'm like, that's not fan service. I don't know what kind of fans that's servicing, but...
that would be a sexual assault scene. That's an oof way of describing it.
It's a Shaw way of describing something.
I was like, thank you, Shaw, for not spoiling it, but also, it's kind of like how in Evangelion, Misato ends every episode like preview by saying like, next episode's gonna have fan service, and then it's like, oh no, that's a brutal episode. I don't know. The music was great. I wasn't a huge fan of the ending or the second half much.
You didn't like the ending?
The ending was fine. I felt like the actual ending like was super rushed.
Really? I don't know.
Well, like the last like 5-ish minutes of it or so.
The
skip. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
I like how they never addressed that thing. So. But I did like how it had Mio's seeds being planted, which kind of sounds sexual, but it's literal.
This show was really good.
It was fun. It was cute. No, it wasn't cute. It wasn't cute at all. It was very brutal. I'm just so used to saying it was good, it was cute, that it was good. It was like really...
It was good. It was traumatizing.
Yeah, parts of it were really well written, and the music was great. The animation was great,
except for that one episode.
Yeah,
that one episode.
That one episode that we don't talk about.
The animation was very bad.
No, I don't know what you guys are talking about, guys. What?
Oh, sorry, it was a stylistic choice.
Oh my god! It's Studio Mappa. They have like no money. They're like the only studio I could ever think of to make Yuri on Ice and still be bankrupt. Like, what?
That's really funny.
Like, when you think about it, right? Like, Kyoani had Clannad and Haruhi and managed to become, like, this fucking powerhouse self-sustaining animation, like, powerhouse and
who like pays their workers real wages.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I know. What actual labor like standards? Get out of here. Meanwhile, you have Mappa, who's like, yes, we have the biggest hit since like Monogatari, an original IP. How about we not utilize that money and instead we just go broke doing everything else? And it's like, oh, like they followed it up with In This Corner of the World, which was a huge critical hit and like made a ton of money, and they are still like basically bankrupt all the time.
Yeah. Dororo did avoid the Mappa flop pretty well, though. There were some episodes in the middle that were a bit rough, but
it didn't go like Kakegurui or Banana Fish like animation wise towards the end.
Yeah,
or
the fights,
Yuri on Ice.
The final fights were really good looking. Those sword duels were sick.
I was expecting them to look really bad, but they actually looked like the one in the Burning Temple or the Burning House.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was expecting them to look so bad because it's Mappa, but no.
But they held it together.
They held it, with like duct tape. Later, it's gonna come out that like multiple members of their like studio were like dying in studio as they're like the burning house represents the burning studio that we're working in.
I think they probably just did the Fate Apocrypha where they like clearly started animating the last 2 episodes at like the beginning of the show and then just like said fuck the entire rest of it. As long as the final fights look good, no one will care.
Right? Yeah, I think that is actually what they did.
Probably.
Oh man. Whew. Well, Dororo, that was the show. But you know what else was a show?
What else?
Presented to you by our friends over at Kapazon. We had Sarazanmai.
Sarazanmai.
Sarazanmai. Hey, we did
perfect. Unscripted.
Yes. Perfect landing, guys.
So I know at the beginning, we're not what do we call the ones that
Impressions.
Impressions, yes.
Introspective.
I was going to say introspectives, and I was like, no.
Guys, this is pretty introspective.
This is pretty introspective. I know in our impressions video, all 4 of us agreed that this was so far the anime of the season. Are we all still feeling that way?
Yes. Well, it's not that Sarazanmai was pretty consistent for me through the rest of it, but I'd say another show that we're going to discuss has just gotten that much better since it started. That it's like
the Fox Girl show?
Yeah, the Fox Girl show. That one's, it's just gotten so much better as it went on.
Kappas don't do it for him. Kappas and boys don't do it for him, but Fox Girls do.
Fox Girls, really. That's my demographic right there.
Foxes and girls? Sign me up.
And just
what about
pampering.
You? What do you think?
It feels weird because it's one of those shows where like I felt like I was reading a thesis.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
and like I just finished Yuri Kuma Arashi as well, so now I've officially watched the complete catalog of Ikuhara, minus Sailor Moon, or all of Sailor Moon anyway. And like it's kind of weird for me calling Sarazanmai anime of the season for me when it's like it might be my third or tied for third favorite Ikuhara show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's weird when like comparing it to the rest of the season, I really liked it, but when compared to the other Ikuhara anime, it was like it threw me for a loop in a lot of ways because like the Ikuhara staple is that like there's that one tweet that I really love where it's like watching an Ikuhara anime episode 1, it's like I have no idea what's going on. Watching an Ikuhara anime, the last episode, it's like sobbing. I have no idea what's going on.
That's accurate. That's very accurate.
And so like I was kind of expecting that with this, but this like kind of was the opposite way where like, with Penguin Drum, with Yuri Kuma Arashi, with Utena, like you have to go online and you have to read like actual master's theses on like what they are on to try and get it. But Sarazanmai, it was like, oh, like I like it was probably the most straightforward Ikuhara show.
Oh, definitely.
That's what I was going to say.
So like it was weird, but also I feel like that led me into a false sense of security with Ikuhara. Like certain things are really obvious, and then I go into discussion threads and someone's like, "Oh, they're on bridges because bridges connect to things all the time," and I was like, "Oh, oh, you're right. Bridges do connect things."
There was a really good Twitter thread I saw.
Oh yeah,
breaking down the
Police
relationship
officers?
between Reo and Mabu and how it's like a commentary on like gay relationships and like gay baiting in anime.
It was that thread was really good.
Yeah. I feel similarly to Mines in that like Sarazanmai definitely didn't get any worse from the beginning of the show, but like the rest of the season stepped up its competition so well that it's hard to say it's like the clear anime of the season.
How do you beat Ao-chan?
I mean, that's pretty valid. Not gonna lie.
Yo, you know it's a good like this is a really good season of anime, honestly.
It was an incredibly good season.
Like Dororo, I mean, when One Punch Man is like the disappointing one of the season.
Yeah.
Like Carole Tuesday Fruits Basket, you had Dororo, Ao-chan came out of nowhere, Attack on Titan season 3 part 2, Sarazanmai, like
Kimetsu no Yaiba is kicking ass. But we'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
Sarazanmai was a real slapper.
Isekai Quartet.
Yeah.
Yo, if we would be talking about Isekai Quartet so differently if it just had stepped up its game.
Isekai Quartet and Sarazanmai about have the same score on Mal too.
Yeah.
So they're of equal quality. That means they must be of equal quality.
Because life is hard and full of disappointment.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite sayings. I love bringing it up in like absolutely like as a non sequitur. Someone was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I'm gonna be late." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Life is hard and full of disappointment." But yeah, Sarazanmai was not full of disappointment. It was really good. There was a great thing where it was like, it showed like Kazuki, right? And it said sadder than you thought. It showed Enta, and it was like gayer than you thought. And then it showed Reo and Mabu, and it was like sadder and gayer than you thought.
That's really funny. My favorite meme about those two was because this show ended like right within like 2 days of Evangelion coming out on Netflix. So there is a scene with the scene where the otter is telling Mabu he can't tell Reo he loves him. So it was Kaworu's face photoshopped onto his head, and it had the otter saying like, "Your show can go to Netflix and people will watch it again on one condition." You can't tell Shinji that you love him. Now say it. Say he deserves your grace.
Oh, man. Oh, Sarazanmai was worthy of our grace.
Yes, it was.
Oh, man. Yeah. It was
also,
like,
there is there's like a tiny spin-off manga. It's 11 chapters long about Reo and Mabu raising a child together.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. It's really sweet.
It's called Reo and Mabu Together They're Sarazanmai. And it's really
my
cute.
Heart.
Yeah.
It's
These
still
two really
hurts.
stole the show in the last few episodes.
At first I was like, oh, they're like just like comically written villains. And I was like, but it's Ikuhara. No one is that no one is that one-dimensional on the Ikuhara anime.
It's like, I'm glad they did too,
more.
because by like episode 7-8 range, I was kind of starting to get a little tired of the main three boys.
Mm-hmm.
They were
especially
still,
Enta.
Especially Enta, yeah. They were getting a little old. It didn't feel like they were really going anywhere much. They were just kind of going around in circles with the same like character conflict. And then these two came out of nowhere and were amazing. Their story was so good right up at the very end. It was so good.
And then I love how that same Twitter thread was also like they became a rainbow star leading the way to the next generation. Yeah, it's very subtle. Yeah, the OP was a lot of fun too. And then the ED, Stand By Me. Stand By
I think overall the ED wasn't amazing, but like the first 5 seconds of it are 10 out of 10.
Oh, the guitar?
By me, negai. Goosebumps every single time.
I like how they used real life scenery and then put the anime characters on it. That was cool.
Yeah.
I was talking about this with a friend. Like, do you think that's more or less expensive?
Oh.
Because, like,
good question.
Like, do you think it's a cost saving measure, or like it was a really cool artistic thing? Because like they also had to make the characters like kind of 3D-ish as well. And they had to do all those After Effects.
Well, when the show was first announced, like the first like super short PV trailer for it, just showed like the anime style characters on real life backgrounds.
Right.
So everyone naturally thought that's what the show was going to be. And I was very disappointed when later trailers came out and it wasn't that, because it was a super cool effect at first. So maybe that was like originally intended and got scrapped, or maybe not. It's impossible to say, really. But
yeah. It would have been so expensive if they'd done that throughout the entire thing.
God.
Yeah.
That would have taken some crazy planning.
Yeah, Jesus. No. That's why I don't look at previews, so I don't get disappointed.
That's smart.
Yeah, I was just like, wow, this is really cool. I'm glad they're doing this for the ED. I've never seen this before. But yeah, it was so beautiful, so wonderful, and I loved that, like, someone, like, that thread put it a really good way, like, Reo and Mob, like, that confession scene, him saying, I love you, we do so rarely get that in anime. Like, the other ones I can think of are, like, other Ikuhara anime.
Right.
And even then, like, in Yuri Kumarashi, they have to repeatedly say they're friends.
Right. Like, it's rare in even straight romances to, like, have two characters actually say I love you. But,
I know, that's why they even had a whole show titled Say I Love You, because of that premise.
But, like, at least in straight romances, they're able to, like, explicitly be into each other. In gay shows, there always has to be, like, an element of plausible deniability.
Right, like with Rakugo?
Yeah, like, with fucking Yuri on Ice. They don't even do it.
They don't even, like, even Yuri on Ice, like, people talk about the kiss scene, they don't even show the actual kiss. They just show them, like, him jumping into his arms, and then, like, cuts away, and then, like, you assume that they kissed.
Right.
But you don't see the actual lip-on-lip action.
What's the point? No lip-on-lip action?
He could have just kissed his cheek, you know, in, like, a friendly, supportive way.
Yeah. So what we're saying here is that Yuri on Ice isn't gay.
Basically.
Yes, that's the takeaway you should take from this. Yeah, no, I like really like Sarazanmai, because also talking with friends, I have one friend who, like, one of his
you only have one friend? I'll be your second friend.
Oh, thank you, Sinris. Damn it, I didn't want Sinris as my second friend. No, I mean...
Fate Steel Taylor, no Marumaru Seikatsu.
Say someone be my friend. Wait, I have to be friends with everyone at the Art Anime Podcast Discord server. And until then, Sinris won't be my friend because he's an asshole. No, 17 won't be my friend. That's why he's not here.
That's why he's not here. Yeah, he ditched you. You have to make friends with us before 17 will come back.
Oh no, guys, please just be my friend. My name is Fate Steel Taylor. I like natto over rice. I've been adding mustard to it.
He watches Overwatch League.
I do watch a lot of Overwatch League. Maybe too much Overwatch League. But also I watch a lot of Sarazanmai. It was like... Yeah, so one of my friends, he said one of his problems with anime, even like with gay anime, and he's out, and he was like talking about how he hates the fact that like so many anime. He was like, Yuri on Ice, the reason why Yuri on Ice is the best anime of all time, it's the one where it's the only one where there's like an openly gay couple, which to me is like, one, false, but two, he was like, and he was also like, it's the only recent one we've gotten with that too, and I was like, that's probably also false. But like, how recent do you want to qualify things as recent?
Yeah.
Like Penguin Drum was 2011, Yuri Kumarashi was 2015. Like even Rakugo, you could get some plausible deniability between Bull and Skoroku.
Rakugo is like, it's pretty clear that there's some bisexuality in that show. There's never like a gay couple in it.
Right. So I was like, damn, like that's I guess he can say that.
Yeah.
But now I have Sarazanmai, and I can be like, yo, like, fam, you don't have to only stand Yuri on Ice now.
Well, Yuri on Ice is definitely the only one to go like that mainstream for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
But
they didn't even expect it to be that mainstream either. Like, I don't even understand how Yuri on Ice became so mainstream. Like, it's so crazy. And, like, I guess Sarazanmai is, like, not... like, they also said, like, Sarazanmai is not accessible enough to, like, the popular consumer base for it to be, like, mainstream like that.
But that was part of the point that Twitter thread,
the
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. None of Ikuhara's anime.
Yeah, this guy can get away with it because his shows have never been, like, marketed for mass appeal.
Right.
He's always been, like, the weird niche director.
Yep.
Yes. Which we love him for.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's on a kind of schedule now, you know? Penguin Drum was 2011. Yuri Kumarashi was 2015. So now we had this 2019. So like
4 years for another
4
Ikuhara
years,
show.
dude. I mean, we had to wait like 14 years between Utena and Penguin Drum.
Speaking of being on a schedule, I do think that this show suffered from having to be 11 episodes.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think if it was 2 core, like all of his previous shows have been, then it probably
Yuri
would have been
Kumarashi
better.
was only 1 core.
Oh, was Yuri Kumarashi only
Yeah.
1 core?
Yes.
Okay. Well, apparently that show also suffered, but
It's weird for
I
me
haven't
because
seen Yuri Kuma, but
Uh-huh.
I know, like,
I feel...
with Penguin Drum and Utena, it feels like he makes really good use of that extra time to, like, play around and be able to show how the characters' relationships with each other work
Evolve.
in situations that aren't, like, life or death big plot moments. And Sarazanmai just felt really lacking of that. They didn't feel like they had organic relationships because the only time you ever saw them was in the middle of doing plot critical stuff.
Right. Yeah, like you didn't have anything like Ringo's relationship
Right.
With Himari in Penguin Drum, which could only happen in like non-crucial moments and more like slice of life stuff. So I feel you with that. I don't know, I think that's one of the reasons why, like, for me, actually, Penguin Drum is my favorite Ikuhara anime, and then Utena, and then I think Yuri Kumarashi and Sarazanmai are tied for third for me. So.
I think that makes sense. And it's hard for me to say between Sarazanmai and Penguin Drum, but Utena is definitely still my fave.
See, Penguin Drum explicitly had a character that said, "I love fate." So I was like, yo, like... It pulled a real role reversal where I didn't waifu her, but she husbandoed me. And I was just so taken, like, how can I not have Penguin Drum as my favorite Ikuhara anime? She's like, who am I to deny Ringo her love? Yo, it also has inspired me to become a farmer, because they're all like, yo, let's share the fruit of fate. I'm like, damn, like, I only got, like, an apple, like, lying around. Like, I gotta get, like, plant an apple tree, get some peaches up in here, get some, like, bananas, you know? Like, if they're gonna share the fruit of fate, I gotta have more in stock here. Gotta be the next Dole company. But yeah, Ikuhara, what a guy. Like, he never disappoints.
It's true.
I just really badly need to go watch Utena after this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird. So, it's outside of Yuri Kumarashi, I've, like, been going in release order for Ikuhara. I watched Utena first, then I watched Penguin Drum, and then I watched Sarazanmai almost concurrently with Yuri Kumarashi. And it's almost funny, like, I wonder, like, watching this and then going back, if you'll, like, spot, you could be like, oh, they did this in Sarazanmai with, like, the elevator stuff, like, and that leads you to the, like, reminds you of the Utena stuff with the elevator.
Oh, with the butterfly, like the elevator of fate.
Oh, yeah, and the bird who can't break out of their shell will die. I don't know if they mentioned that at all, ever.
Break the world shell to revolutionize the world.
Revolutionize the world. Man, what a time.
Have you ever seen that interview with Ikuhara where someone asks him, like, what does it mean to revolutionize the world? And he responds, it means to break the world shell. And that's it.
God damn. Oh, also, like, if you watch Utena, like, the Reo Mabu scene where, like, he pulls, he unbuttons the shirt and then pulls something out of the chest. The heart.
Oh, yeah, that's super...
I've seen that before.
That's totally the sword, yeah.
Uh-huh. So, Yeah, a lot of cross dimensionality.
Highly recommend Sarazanmai.
Also cross dressing in Sarazanmai.
Yes.
So yeah, really, really good. Really recommend. And I think this is the next show we're going to talk about is another show of mine that you'd really recommend.
Yes, this is my anime. When I said that another show got so much better,
this was the show you were talking about?
This was the show I was talking about.
Gotcha. So I haven't seen it. So do you want to give a little brief description of your anime of the year, century even? Wise Man's Grandchild, Kenja no Mago?
No, not really. My mom,
words can't describe it.
My mom told me that, like when I was a little kid, that if I have nothing nice to say, to not say anything at all. So,
say that is a very mean thing to say. You shouldn't even say that.
A wise man's grandchild once told me to try this anime, and I really tried to watch this show because I know a lot of people really like it for some reason. Like, the discussion threads, everyone's like, oh, this is really fun, and I really wish I could see that in this, but no, I ended up dropping it like it was hot, so...
Was it hot?
It was... no. I don't know what it was. It was just not my type of thing.
So does it just stay, like, generic?
It gets worse than that, yeah. It stays that, but somehow manages to continue going downhill. Like, eventually, I think I got to like 4 or 5 episodes, and it was just painful to watch. I tapped out. Kenja no Mago, it broke me.
That's a real shame.
Yeah.
Maybe it got better later. You just needed to watch one more episode.
Yeah, source readers will always tell you the next arc is the best arc. That's why I keep up to date with Boku no Hero.
Like, the story was nothing new. The animation was pretty... Like, I think it was... Silver Link isn't really known for doing heavy action. It's not even heavy action, but it just wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
The voice acting was good. The opening and ending were pretty good too, but it just wasn't enough to keep me... Compared to everything else I was watching this season, this was like way far below everything else. And I had enough. That makes sense. Yeah, I had enough stuff to watch anyway that this was just not worth. I can't stick it out for 12 episodes weekly.
Very fair.
Sorry, everyone that likes this show.
Mine says you're all stupid.
Yeah. Mines, if you're not going to even talk about that, why the hell are you here, Mines?
Why am I here? It's a great question. I've just been a constant disappointment here.
You know what else is a great question? That's right. It's why the hell are you here, teacher? I'll do you one better, though. How the hell are you, teacher? But why does no one ask, how the hell are you here, teacher? But yeah, so that was another show that aired this season. It was another airing.
Okay.
That was another show that aired this season. It was an airing, and it came out in this season. Is there anything else to say about it?
I know Colonel Panic has a really interesting series on it on the Nutcast. Shout out to Colonel Panic.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a Nutcast, what can we even say? The Nutcast is better than anything that we can say.
Anything that we could say has already been said about why the hell are you here, teacher? It's existing.
Mm-hmm.
There are censorship gags.
Mm-hmm.
Those can be funny.
Yeah, they can. They sure can be.
Damn. All right.
Look, I just said what mine said. What I just said, what mine said, is a mean thing to say, so I can't say it.
Okay. Shall we move on?
Some of the gags could be funny to some people.
Mm-hmm.
It was spicy. It did not fail to deliver on the ecchi.
Mm-hmm. Good. Because, we were really let down on the ecchi by Ao-chan, so
we were, actually.
Yeah, we were. So, this show stepped up to fill in the gaps.
Oh, and gaps were filled.
Oh, man.
Ooh, gaps were most certainly filled. Jeez. Oh, man. Well, Ao-chan can't study. Why the hell are you here, teacher? Man, if only there was an anime that combined both aspects of those premises in that title. Oh wait, we had it in Bokutachi wa Benkyou ga Dekinai, or We Never Learn, or Bokuben. Which is the next in the line of anime where a poor boy who's smart tutors a bunch of girls at his school in order to make sure that he can go to college. Why is this?
This is a weirdly specific
recurring
premise that keeps
thing.
cropping up these days.
Look, I know like Isekai was the flavor of the month for a while, and sure, we can go with new ones, but like we don't have to repeat the same new one we find. So yeah, we had Bokuben.
Yeah, but I didn't finish Bokuben. Not really because I dropped it, just because like I couldn't keep up with it. I thought it was pretty good for what it was. You know, it's kind of a rehash of old stuff, nothing that nobody's seen before. But I didn't dislike it at all.
Yeah.
It was a pretty standard fare, a lot of fun. The blue-haired girl is my favorite.
Sensei best.
Sensei wasn't bad. The blue-haired girl was just like...
She's really sweet.
Her design is really good. Like, the contrast between her hair and her eyes just, like, pops super well combined with the art style on this one every time. I just enjoyed looking at her.
Oh.
Well... Guys, if you ever, Sinner said he couldn't keep up, but if you ever need him to, just show him a picture of the blue-haired girl from Bokuben. I wasn't a huge fan of anyone here. It was like, all these feel like cheap versions, like really cheap knockoff versions of like Love Hina and Nisekoi, which I really liked both of those.
I wonder why that could be. What's giving you that impression?
I don't know. Also, like, Rosario and Vampire, that as well. A little bit. I don't know why. The World God Only Knows. Jeez, why do these shows all remind me of cheap knockoff versions of those anime?
This is truly a mystery of our era.
We never learn.
We'll never learn.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked the teacher just because that's a unique take. I haven't really seen the teacher as, like, one of the heroines of a show like this before. I guess no, Nisekoi did, but she was like an older sister type to him and also a teacher.
I have not seen Nisekoi, so I can't comment on that one. But like, yeah, usually the teacher is kind of like a side character who will have like enough semi-flirty dialogue that you can like headcanon the ship if you want to, but it's not really supported.
But this one is supported. Yep. So, the childhood friend. This is the first time I've wanted the childhood friend to lose. My God, she's annoying as hell.
You are a sucker for that trope, aren't you? I guess I never really...
The childhood friend one?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the childhood friend always, like, usually loses. So it's, like, really... Like, I love that. It's so great. That's why I love Nisekoi. That's why we never lewd. Hey. That's not the title of the show.
For good reason.
Yeah, that's why I like Nisekoi, because like everyone was a childhood friend. So like childhood friends had to lose.
Oh. Some lost a little more than others.
Yeah. I mean, one of them won because they ended up going to Pittsburgh for a couple years. And Pittsburgh's the best place to be.
Of course.
Yes. Boston's the worst place.
Oh, fuck you.
But yeah, teacher was best. The OP had like some fun moments to it.
Yep. That's true.
I really like the Mr. Teacher, da, 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 da. Like the very end of it. The Mr. Teacher part was fun.
You gotta call him Mr. You gotta put some respect on that teacher's name.
Put some respect on Mr. Teacher's name. Yeah, I don't know. Did you watch this, Mines?
No, I didn't. I think I have it on my plan to watch, but...
You should put it on your drop.
Okay, I'll put it right next to Kenja and Mago, right?
Ooh.
No, I know it already got a second season announced, but it makes it like... And the fact that you're telling me not to watch it makes me want to watch it even more. So...
my plan is working.
Yeah, so...
Reverse psychology. I actually really want you to watch this.
So I guess we'll find out if they ever learn in the second season this fall.
But what are they not learning?
I didn't watch it. You're asking the wrong person here. You should tell me. I never learn, apparently.
Math and writing skills, I guess,
Oh.
is the answer.
Yeah, I mean, it literally translates to Bokutachi is we study can't, like we can't study is a more appropriate title.
Okay.
So, in any case,
Got
yes, I have learned Japanese. Thank you.
Wow, you're so cool.
I'm so cultured. Oh my gosh. Hey, Sinris, speaking of culture, you wanna give us a little bit of that Fox Girl culture and enlighten us a little bit on that?
I mean, I would, but I don't know if there's really any reason to. Like,
I mean,
after,
please, I want to
the
crack open this beer and like enjoy it while you rant. It's like...
No, like after the Impressions podcast, everybody who listens to this like heard what I had to say about it, realized how bad the show is. If they were watching the show and enjoying it, they figured out that they need to rethink their lives. They got psychiatric help, and then they dropped the show. So nobody's been watching it since the first episode. So what's the point of saying anything else?
What if people haven't seen the Impressions? What if this is their first Our Anime podcast episode?
Alright. Well, if they missed the Impressions episode and are just watching it now, I did not watch the whole show. However, right before we recorded this, I did watch the final episode. So... I skipped watching the last episode of Attack on Titan so I could watch the last episode of this fucking show.
Yo, I mean, it's not called Attack on Fox Girls.
It's not called Attack on Fox Girls. I wish it was. But,
Would it be
so I haven't seen
now?
anything in the middle. So it was a little bit, I'll be honest, it was a little bit of a trip going into the last episode. Because it looked like some shit had gone down that I had completely missed. Like, it then turned out that wasn't really the case, but, so the episode opens up. I guess the main character guy has like gone on vacation to like visit his parents out in the country somewhere. So he's out there. Senko didn't come with him. Senko was at home like keeping his apartment tidy or whatever.
And she's the Fox Girl.
So then like someone from his work calls him and says like, "Oh man, we're really swamped. There's big trouble. You need to come back. We like need your help." And he was like, "All right, sure, yeah, I guess I'll come back to Tokyo today, and I'll be in at work tomorrow." So then he like tries to call Senko to say like, "Hey, I'm coming back earlier." Senko doesn't pick up. He calls her 3 more times, and Senko doesn't pick up the phone. And he's like, "Oh man, well this is kind of weird, but I guess like she's a 3,000-year-old magical fox lolly. Like, I guess she's just bad with technology. She doesn't know how to use the cell phone." So he goes home, and then he gets home, and he's like, "Man, I wonder if Senko's going to be surprised that I'm home early because she never responded to my messages." So then he opens up the door and Senko isn't inside.
Oh.
You're like, "Oh shit, where is she? What happened to Senko?" And then it cuts away and Senko is back up in like the divine realm or wherever Kitsune come from. And she's talking to the big titty fox girl.
Oh.
And at this point, I just want to interject with a note on the big titty fox girl. I obviously did not watch any episodes where she actually does anything, but the existence of this character makes me inherently suspicious. So I had a couple of conflicting feelings on how I felt about her name is Sora, about Sora's existence. And it was, at first, I was saying like, "Oh, of course this character exists, like, why wouldn't it? This is like the kind of low blow I would expect from the show, to have like the big titty fox girl who also does the pampering for like the real sexual degenerates." Then I thought, well, hold on a second. The first episode of Senko-san also featured Senko being aroused by him touching her tail, and she is a child. So is it really that different? And I thought back to the wise words of a good friend of mine, Mia, who I do the Magic Circuit, our Type Moon podcast with. She told me at one point, and I quote, "The road to big titty lady is not always paved with the best of intentions, but I'll take it over sexy children any day." And I thought, that's wise advice. Big titty fox girl, not that bad. Senko's worse. Anyway. Sora tells Senko, I know that that there's something eating away at you. That, like, you've been with him for a year now. First off, at this point I learned it's been a year since the beginning of the show, and Senko has been there the entire fucking time. That's insane. But moving on. You've been there for a year now, you still can't, like, make him feel so much better that, like, the darkness starts spreading out of him. And then there's, like, some hints at some plot shit that I apparently missed, where, like, there was a guy, like, before, it looked kind of like feudal Japan era from the flashback, who looked exactly like the main character, but was some other dude that Senko at some point was supposed to pamper, and failed, and he died. So that's a thing, I guess. I don't know where to go with that, but that existed. So Sora's like, that there's nothing you can do for him. Like, you should just stay up here now. You shouldn't return, or else you'll have, like, another difficult parting like you did before. And Seiko's like, man, you're right. That time really sucked, but I guess I just care about him so much. I just still have to pamper him forever. So, even more than he thinks I'm going to, or whatever her stupid catchphrase is. And then she decides to go back down anyway. Meanwhile, main character guy, sitting there in his empty apartment, eating, like, the last bento that Senko left on the counter before he went away, and he's thinking, like, he had, like, tried asking his neighbors, nobody had seen her or anything. There was,
Wait, she's visible to other people?
Yeah, she's visible to other people.
Okay.
Nobody had seen her. There was, like, some, like, kiddie anime about a magical fox girl that Senko and one of the other fox girls like to watch, and the last episode was
There's multiple fox girls?
Yeah, there are 3 fox girls, I think. The last episode was coming on, and they had been, like, super excited to watch it, but, like, they're not here now, and he's like, oh man, maybe something happened to her. Maybe she's not coming back. And he's getting worried, and he thinks back to the good times they had together. He remembers how, and you'll like this, Tay, they promised that when the cherry blossoms bloomed, that they would go out and see them together. So he gets up and he leaves, and he bundles up because it's, like, early spring, and he's out.
It's spring.
It's early spring. He still had to wear a jacket, but, like, the cherry blossoms are starting to come out. So it's probably like
spring.
March, early April.
Oh, so is it coming like a lion, or is it just a lie?
I think it's a lie. It's definitely a lie. This show is a lie.
It's a lie.
So he's out and he's walking through, like, the park where the cherry blossoms are going to be, and then Senko appears before him, walking along the path on the edge of the river, and she tells him nothing about what happened in the Vine Realm, about how she considered not coming back. She's just like, oh hey, I just had to pop up there for a bit, I'm back now. And then they have, like, a picnic and look at the cherry blossoms, and she gets drunk and gives him a lap pillow, and then falls asleep, and it's, like, a cute fucking ending, and she doesn't tell him that apparently he's going to die of, like, magic darkness depression. If I'm interpreting that plot point correctly, which I may not be, but none of that. She's just like, oh yeah, I'm back. No, what? I disappeared and was going to abandon you, and you were going to have to, like, take care of yourself again after an entire year of me doing everything for you, to the point where you must now be completely helpless on your own. No, don't worry about that. I'm here. You're not gonna die. Let's look at these fucking cherry blossoms.
It's spring.
Yeah, and then it ends.
It's spring.
Nice.
Also, it does continue to do that stupid fucking bullshit with the post
ending?
with the post ED scene, which is in first person perspective, where the viewer is the camera, and she says cute fucking bullshit to the viewer. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. I hate this show.
Oh, man. Sinris, thank you so much for watching that for us.
You're welcome.
Watching it so we don't have to.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Some wear foxtails.
Some are fox girls. Some wear fox girls?
Oh, no. Wrong season.
Dororo.
Oh no is right. Anyway.
Yes.
Oh man, that was
Dororo, more like JoJo. No Kimyou no Bouken Part 5.
I was just gonna say.
Oh, I beat you.
I was gonna be like, oh, well, that was Sinris's No Bizarre Adventure. But let's get on to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. We went from possible golden showers to now JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind.
Yeah, this one is also not done yet.
Nope.
Yeah,
they're doing some weird shit with the schedule for the last couple episodes.
Oh,
yeah.
They're like, I if I'm recalling correctly, like
Are they like two 1 hour episodes or?
Well, yes, but they had an episode that came out this past Friday, and then they're taking a 2-week break, and then they're doing a 1 hour finale episode the week after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of the way that like the new season starts, there's already something in that time slot.
Yeah. Interesting.
Because I guess they had like 2 or 3 recap episodes, so I guess they just ran over. Production fucked up somewhere along the way. You know, that good Shirobako shit.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, Cinderella Girls has had the same problem. They just hit episode 11 this week, and
really?
The animation is I thought Price of Smiles was bad like last season. Oh god, like some of the it reminds me, some of the Cinderella 9 stuff reminds me of the Pro ZD skit where he's like, when an anime is clearly padding for time, and it's like, cut to her. What are you doing? Come back to me. And they're like recapping things that happened literally the minute before.
Yeah.
And it's like really bad, and like all the drawing, like all the animation is terrible, and it's like flash animation. It's, oh my god, it's so bad. So JoJo isn't that part yet, right?
No, JoJo good.
Yes.
And then, so JoJo, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Carole Tuesday, and Fruits Basket have all not yet finished this season.
Yes.
Those are, well, One Punch Man is going to finish in a couple days, but the other 3 are all multi-core shows. Fruits Basket is what, like 80 episodes it's getting?
I thought 61?
Yeah,
61?
61.
Okay, 60 episodes?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
You're pretty cool.
Thanks.
I have a feeling they're going to split it up, though.
Oh, so it's not going to be 5 straight cores?
Yeah, I think it's going
to be 5 gay cores?
Probably like 26, and something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they did that with Alicization. It was like 2 core, because it's a 4-core anime, but they did 2 cores, and then they stopped for 2 cores, and then they're coming back with 2 cores with Sword Art Online.
Yeah, 5 cores straight would be an impressive feat for a studio.
Yes.
If they're not doing,
wasn't Hunter x Hunter that way?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Hunter x Hunter and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood were both.
Oh, well, those are definitely impressive feats for the studio.
Yeah. So, I mean, why do you think Madhouse went like bankrupt
Yeah.
during Hunter x Hunter?
So I don't know. Maybe Fruits Basket will do that, but I don't expect it. What have you
It'd be
guys
nice
been
if
feeling
it did.
about the first core of it?
I've really liked it. The OP is really sweet. It's really nice. I've been really enjoying it. Kyo is best boy, of course.
Kyo remains best boy. Well,
whoa there.
Well, no,
there.
Kyo is 100% best boy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, when I said that there was another show that got so much better as it went on, Fruits Basket is the one I was talking about. This one's like, it's going like above and beyond, honestly. But I know in the, what was it? The first video we did,
Impressions.
The impressions, whatever that word is.
Clearly, first impressions are not lasting.
Yeah. In my impressions, I said I had to shill someone else, so let me convert you all to the Church of Hatsuharu real quick.
I was about to say,
that's my favorite.
Tay said Kyo is best. That, I don't know, Hatsuharu was giving him one for his money.
Hatsuharu does not give a shit about anything, really. He's just a dork. I think he's hilarious, and he's one of my favorite character design of any of the Zodiacs that have been introduced thus far.
Mm-hmm.
And I just all his like jokes have landed for me. Like when the student council president was giving Momiji a hard time about wearing the girl's uniform, and he just like drug him off to the bathroom.
Oh, and he's like, "This is my actual hair
it's
color."
my actual hair color. Yeah,
that was awesome. That was really funny.
like
Momiji sucks. Hatsuharu goat.
Yeah.
She's like, "Yo, how did you prove that's your natural hair color?"
He drags him off to the bathroom. He goes back traumatized. That was so good. But aside from that, Fruits Basket has just so many iconic moments in it. Mm-hmm. Emotional moments, especially the New Year's episode. No matter how many times I watch that, I will never not tear up knowing what's going to happen.
That was so sweet.
The way they've been dragging out reveals and information about Akio has been really good. Mm-hmm. Or is Akio the name? Akito?
Akito, yeah.
Akito, yes.
Of the Exiled.
Yeah. They've made Akito into a super foreboding, intimidating character. I'm really, really curious what's going to happen with them, because something about the tone of the way Akito acts and treats people is so off from the tone of everything else about the story. Mm-hmm. But not in a way that makes it feel like tonal whiplash, it doesn't fit. It's just this character is so much darker than everyone else, and this is the direction we're moving in. Everyone's relationship to Akito is the conflict of the series. Mm-hmm. So eventually we will get there, and I'm kind of scared to see how that will be.
Yeah, Akito.
Yeah, I mean, we know he put Yuki basically in solitary confinement for a good portion of his childhood,
and he basically exiled the Hattori's girlfriend.
Yeah, yo, that was such a sad episode. R.I.P.
But there's much more of this show to come.
Yes.
So
if you haven't started watching it, definitely recommend it. I love the OP. Every time I hear the OP, I almost start crying. It's such a nostalgic OP. It reminds me of a lot of OP from the early 2000s.
It fits the show very well.
Yeah.
I think the ending is my favorite of the season too.
I can't remember the ending off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's the one that goes. Oh wait, no,
I was thinking for a second. I like it, but I couldn't sing it for you right now.
We got it.
If you could sing it for us, you could be a star on Carole and Tuesday.
I could, but plot armor
is a thing. The plot armor Titan strikes again.
Carole and Tuesday is it's good. It hasn't really lived up to the hype for me. Mm-hmm. I think it has some pretty good moments in it. I really liked the concept of the American Idol arc when it started, but it felt it dragged on for too long.
Yeah, it went on for a while.
That's still my main gripe for it, except for the Mermaid Sisters.
The Mermaid Sisters are great.
Oh man, that was A+. Was not expecting that.
One of my biggest gripes with it is how Angela made it through this whole competition.
Yeah, Angela's singing is so fucking boring, generic ass pop. The fact that every time she opens her mouth to sing, everyone else in the show is like, "Oh my god, she's incredible!" Just brings me out of it every time.
Is it me, or does every song of hers sound like a Chainsmokers song?
It does.
It's
if you told me, if you played a Chainsmokers song and an Angela song to me, and I hadn't heard either of them, I would not be able to tell which one is which one.
And Chainsmokers is the most generic faux rich white kid music there is. So
yeah, the Mountains one. I was the Move Mountains one. I was this is total Chainsmokers. It goes up. She goes up the octave so that it's heavy and deep and Chainsmokers-y.
I didn't actually put that comparison together, but it's super accurate.
Yeah, I made a offhand tweet. I was first we're talking overseas people are taking our jobs, and now they're taking our top 40 pop summer hits. When will they stop?
Yeah. I feel every once in a while that the show teases us with something that's really interesting, the reveal that Carole grew up in a refugee camp.
Yeah,
I want to learn more about that. Stop giving us.
And then they're
stop wasting time on other stuff.
And then they just pass by it.
Yeah,
and it's and then, yeah, no, and the stuff with the really creeper fan went on way too long.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fairness, though, that fan was really hot.
No, she wasn't.
So I like her.
No, she is terrifying.
No. She is terrifying. However, excellent character design.
No. Hard pass.
And I love her
I'm
overalls.
a fade on this one.
Yeah, there we go, Mines. I knew. You know what it is? It's the Fox girls. They've corrupted Samus.
Probably.
Well, if this contest weren't rigged so that Angela was going to win, then she would have lost to that girl in the first round, and none of this ever would have happened.
100%.
Yes.
100%. Oh, with the French song, too?
Yeah.
That was good. I will give her
That was
that.
good.
But her actual character is just a little crazy.
Yep.
Just a little bit. I also have a big gripe with how did Carole and Tuesday make it to the final as well? Because I thought Piotr was like
I thought Piotr
Piotr has some
Piotr
bops.
fucking bopped.
Yeah.
Yo.
Piotr's song was so good.
Dude, also, I have never seen the inside of Jacket more often than Piotr.
I actually like Piotr a lot more than I expected to. He's fun.
Same.
I expect him to come back, and I'm looking forward to it.
Don't call it a comeback. Oh, it's like Piotr's back. Oh, yeah. Da-da-da. Yeah.
I also really like Artigun as a judge. I wish we got more of that.
Oh, Erdogan's
Miyano's great. I wonder how much of that was like actually scripted by like whoever the scriptwriter is, and how much is just like Miyano getting into character. Like they were like, "Hey, like Miyano, we stopped recording a while ago," and Miyano just keep going, and he's like, "Wait, this is really good stuff. How can we use it? Fuck, how about we create a scenario where they need to buy for time and they keep asking Erdogan things?"
So I told him, "I think, therefore, I am Erdogan."
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I really like the OP.
Yeah.
The ED's a bop.
Yeah, the OP and ED are both excellent.
Yes.
Yeah. But like I'm more waiting on to see how things end up. I'm not really ready to crown it among the other Watanabe anime yet.
Same.
Like for me, like 'cause I haven't seen Kids on the Slope, but I've heard really good things about it. And for me, like Bebop and Champloo are like so up there that like it's like another Ikuhara thing where I like, because of his previous work being so good, it's hard for me to crown this so early.
Yeah. And we're halfway through the show and very little has happened.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of making me trepidatious as to what the fuck's going to go down in the next 12 episodes. That in order to like make something out of this like really scattered groundwork that's been laid.
Yeah. I just think it's mostly due to this like American Idol X Factor competition going on for like
freaking
5
forever.
Episodes.
I mean, they've just been like doing different harebrained schemes to help them break through since like episode 2 of the show.
The music video episode almost made me drop the show.
Yeah,
with the bot.
That episode is not very good.
No.
So, you know what's also not very good? JK. The last show we're going to be talking about is another true core anime that's going on, and that is Kimetsu no Yaiba.
Okay, I said earlier that this show slaps, and you guys all made noises. What's the problem here?
Well,
blonde hair makes me want to die.
Oh, well, yes.
Yeah, well, not even that, though. For me, it's just, I want to like this show a lot more than I do. I like it. It looks nice, but some of the episodes just like put me to sleep, not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah. What was it?
They also recap every little thing. Like if it's been 5 minutes and something's passed, they're like, "Oh shit, did you know that Tangerine's legs is broken right now and that he's been dealing with a broken leg? Poor Tangerine.
What?
He's got a..."
They don't do that. What are you talking about?
They did it in the last episode. He was like, "Yo, my leg's broken. It's hard to move. It's so hard to move. My leg is broken." And like minutes before, he was like, "My leg is broken. It's hard to move." And the previous episode, he's like, "Hey, by the way, did you know my leg is broken and it hasn't fully healed? So it kind of hurts to move."
They say that like once per episode.
They say it like 3-4 times an episode.
You're ridiculous.
Your face is ridiculous.
This show's good.
Beautiful.
This show kicks ass.
It kicks
way more into this show than I expected to be.
Kimetsu no Yaiba, more like Kimetsu no Na.
Most shonens most shonens range for me from like really bad to like pretty fun. And this show has like had me on the edge of my seat through every arc. Like every demon he comes up against, every fight has been super sick. They're all really creative. I love Tanjiro. I can't really put into words why, but something about him is
Is
just,
it because his
super
name
cool.
is Tangerine, and we here at the Our Anime Podcast love all things citrus fruits?
That could be it, now that you mention it. Zenitsu sucks ass.
Yes.
I'm not gonna argue about that.
That, like, quote-unquote twist of him actually being a badass when he knocks out is, like, the most obvious fucking overdone trope in shonen history.
That's true.
I was mad. I don't know, I kind of like this. It feels to me like a training grounds for, like, UFO Table before they do, like, other Fate stuff. And I was like, oh, like, yeah, if they did, like, stuff like that in Fate, but, like, with a much better budget and with a much better plot, I would actually like it.
Like I said, I like it. I want to like it more. I think it has some of the best, like, cinematography this season. With, like, I really like that shot that I always come back to with the rooms were, like, changing and the camera was, like, circling around.
Yeah,
and that's
what
was
I'm
really
talking
good.
about. That's what I'm talking about. Where it feels like they're just trying stuff out for their Fate franchise.
Yeah, but, like, the actual writing of it is kind of where it misses for me.
Really?
I think to me it's like a 5.5.
I would say it's like a 7 for me still, but like, it's enough to keep me invested in it. But I want to be, like, one of the people that really likes the show. But it still has 13 episodes left, so
that's true.
What's your issue with the writing?
I just thought that what was it? I'm awful with names tonight. Was it the guy with his wife? What was it where they were getting attacked by the demon that fires upvotes?
Oh.
Oh!
I thought that he was, like, I just thought they were really boring characters.
Well, you're talking about the demons who are attacking them?
No, the people the Tanjiro and Nezuko were defending.
Oh, like the demon healer?
Yeah, I just thought that was, like, a really boring part to sit through, but everything else has been pretty good.
Those two were whatever.
Yeah.
That's been boring. The training arc's been boring. I literally yawned just thinking about these arcs.
That's really my only gripe with it, though.
Maybe I'm in the minority. I feel like for those of you who are newer, this feels like kind of a rerun of last year when we were talking about Sangatsu. What's it called?
Sangatsu no
Lion. Yeah, there we go. Sangatsu no Lion. March comes in like a lion. And I was like, another show that a lot of people didn't like, and I just got, like, destroyed by everyone saying, like, what do you mean? It's, like, so good. But I feel like this, and history has proven me right. People were like, oh, Sangatsu is so great. It's like the number, like, 3 anime on Mal, and it's not anymore, so ha.
Oh, it's not anymore? Good. Second season, that shit was bad.
Thank you, Cinerus. It's down to 10. It's dropped a little. It's dropped.
That's fine.
Only you can put out forest fires, and also, like, bringing Sangatsu no Lion second season down. But yeah, I don't know. So that's Kimetsu no Yaiba, and that is our retrospective. Gosh, I've been saying impressions so often in this episode. Let's do a retrospective. So that was the retrospective of today's episode. Thank you again to Sinners, and especially thanks to Minds for coming on today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for hosting for us.
Yes.
You know, I didn't want to, but I had to in order to properly convey the final words of 17, which, if you'll excuse me, I'll have to read again, which was, did you know that you can watch a lot of anime, like the aforementioned Ao-chan Can't Study, on the streaming service known as HIDIVE? And in fact, if you use the promo code TAP 2019 548-3348, you get 50% off your first month subscription. That's $2.49 for an entire month of HD streaming anime straight to your tablet, your laptop, your browser, and even on your Xbox. And your phone too. So don't wait, subscribe today, and you will be able to watch a ton of unlimited HD streaming anime and other stuff too, thanks to our friends over at HIDIVE. So I just needed to make sure I conveyed 17's final words to everyone.
Yep, we'll never hear from him again, I'm afraid.
May he rest in peace.
Oh wait, sorry, I've just got another crow. Speaking of Kimetsu no Yaiba, I think this is from 17. Hold on. Let me read what this says as well. So this one says, that there is a giveaway going on with the R Anime podcast right now. It might still be going on by the time this episode's released, hopefully. But it says that in order to win one of 7 Blu-rays presented to you by our friends over at Sentai Filmworks and HIDIVE in collaboration with the Best Girl contest over on R Anime, all you have to do is retweet one of the tweets corresponding to one of the episodes on our podcast Twitter account at Tokyo Podfathers, and be following us at Sentai Filmworks and HIDIVE Official to be entered into that giveaway. And you can also subscribe to the R Anime podcast and leave a comment below on one of the episode videos to be entered in the contest. And to say thank you for everyone for helping us reach 4,000 subscribers. We're really thankful. Thank you so much for subscribing to us. Dang, 17's really eloquent. I guess it helps when you have 17 writers helping you pen together your final words. So, yeah,
also,
so make sure to...
I don't know who the 17 writers person you're talking about is. Are you perhaps referring to our...
To King Normie!
Our deceased pod member, King Normie?
King Normie. The King Normie. Oh, man, gotta love King Normie. But also, thank you so much for listening. Remember, you can subscribe to us on YouTube, on Spotify, on Simplecast, on iTunes, wherever podcasts are available. You can listen to us. Be sure to check out our Twitter at Tokyo Podfathers. Join the conversation at our Discord, link below. And until next time, stay tuned, and thank you so much for listening.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another special episode of Interjection Time with Mozilla Fennekin. Except this isn't much of an interjection because the podcast is over. So, I guess this is like an extension. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode. You know, had a lot of fun editing it. That's what I do. I wasn't on this one because I just felt like not watching anime this season. So I only watched like 3 shows. And one of them happens to be a show that a couple of people wanted us to talk about. They were kind of asking like, hey, why ain't you watch this show, guys? So I'll talk about it for a few minutes because it's worth talking about. It's an interesting show. So it's called YU-NO. I don't know the actual title of it. It's a really long fucking title. Just look up U-No and you know what it is, all right? I promise this won't be an obnoxious segment. I want to talk about it because it's worth watching if you're really interested in time travel sorts of shows. Like, many people credit this as the genesis for lots of things that Steins Gate did, because this is actually a visual novel from like, I don't know, sometime in the 90s. I would guess 94 or 99, because that would be 25th or 20th anniversary, because it's getting a remake, and that's why this anime exists. But it's an old-ass visual novel. It's pretty highly regarded, actually. And I will say this, I have lots of complaints about this anime. I expect this novel to be a lot better than that, because it does feel like the anime is kind of blowing through the plot at a rather brisk pace. So keep that in mind. However, I am also of the opinion that just because something came earlier doesn't mean it's automatically better. And when you see this, if you've seen Steins Gate, you're going to be thinking of Steins Gate because they're so similar. And in a way, it is kind of problematic when you think that, oh, this happened in Steins Gate, but was better in that show. You know, it like came around later and did this thing better. So the synopsis, or the concept of this anime is that the main character has an object that allows him to time leap, essentially. The device can set a certain point of time, and he can use the device to then return to that point in time, resetting everything that happened. He is the only one who has memories of this. So if you're interested in like the time leap aspect of Steins Gate, then I would actually recommend watching this because it does that a lot. I would say this is a lot more about the actual time travel. It also has some, I don't know, I guess pros and cons. Like, depending on who you are, it might be better or worse that YU-NO is a lot faster to, I guess, get to the point where, like, the main character starts time traveling and some kind of crazy shit happens a lot sooner than in Steins Gate. They're not waiting 12 episodes. But at its expense, so that it can get to the point quicker, it also kind of just doesn't really explain a whole lot of stuff. And the biggest problem with YU-NO, and the main reason why people don't like this show, is because the characters are abysmal. Like, they're really bad, actually. The side characters might be somewhat decent. The biggest problem is that they're all linked to the main character, who is dog shit. Like, one of the worst main characters ever. He's like that kid that you would have in one of your classes in high school or middle school or wherever, and like every opportunity he gets when the teacher is talking, or I don't know, whenever someone is talking, just he'll always insert himself into the conversation. Like, he'll always just blurt something out, not even really to be funny or whatever, just because he wants attention, because he thinks he's clever or funny or whatever, and everyone else is just like, shut the fuck up already. God, like, he cannot go 10 seconds without without opening his mouth. I meant shutting his mouth. He cannot stay silent for 10 seconds is what I was trying to say. Every scene, like, it doesn't matter what scene it is. It can be a serious, kind of emotional scene. It could be in the middle of some exposition. It could just be some friendly banter. He is always going to find a way to say something just dumb. He's just crude and annoying. Like, there was one scene where he was talking with one of his female classmates, and she was like, she was explaining something, and just like, oh, there was this big round rock, you remember that? And then he says, I knew something else that's big and round, and looks at her tits, and it's like, why hasn't this guy been thrown out of a 30-story building? That's the biggest mystery of this show. How does anybody in the world tolerate him? Like there are lots of other characters that just seem to be okay with him. I don't know why. He has a best friend character who... This character is meant to be a comic relief, I guess, which only really works if, you're a kind of serious story, and with this main character, it's anything but. And this guy just kind of exists to be picked on by the main character. Like, the main character's always like, hey, best friend guy, here's all of my homework. You do it for me. I'm gonna go fuck off and do something else. And the best friend guy is like, but main character guy, I don't want to. Why would he hang out with... I don't know, man. Anyway, the point is the characters are bad. So it's like, if you really want a story that has any emotional weight to it, then this isn't really for you. And that is kind of relevant because, I guess, kind of spoilers, but within a few episodes, the main character has to save someone from dying with his time device. Which is, again, kind of cool if you enjoy some sort of high-stakes drama, but it also just feels kind of flat when, you don't really care about the characters that are going on. The main advantage that this show does have is that there's a lot of time leaping. Like, the main character goes through lots of different attempts, and it is kind of interesting to see how he approaches situations, how he, uses this thing to learn more, and how can he even try to do things in different ways and still come to the same conclusion. It's all pretty interesting. So I would recommend this strictly for the time travel, because it does have potential there, and maybe they will explain more later on, because there's not only time travel, but there's also, I guess, magic in general. It's some kind of weird shit going on. I lost my train of thought because I'm dumb. Yeah, that's all I really want. I honestly don't think it's that bad of a show. Like, I know it has a low score on Mal and lots of people. I think it's just the characters. Like, the characters are bad. The writing is pretty rushed and all. I don't know. It maybe at worst, if you're still interested, but this anime sounds bad, check out the visual novel when that comes out, or check out the old one. That might. I fully expect this to be a lot better in that. So, I think that would be pretty cool. I don't think I have anything else to say, though. I just wanted to bring this up because, again, a couple people asked us to talk about it, and, it's like the one show that I watched that the other guys didn't. So, I'm going to leave. First impressions for summer are going to... I have no idea when they're coming out, man. I fucking vote Mayushi in the Best Girl contest. Okay, that's the reason why I'm on here in the first place. Please vote Mayushi in the Best Girl contest, the R Anime Best Girl contest. Literally, do it right now, please. Mayushi can win this year. It's gonna happen. All right, we can't let Mikasa win. Please vote Mayuri. Everybody, vote Mayuri Shina in the Best Girl contest.